Half a year ago, a crazy woman suddenly showed up in the city. She may not be smart, but she's insanely beautiful. So lots of men tried to mess with her.
But
Anyone who had ideas about her got dragged off to have a wedding ceremony. To be exact, it was just bowing to a memorial tablet. They kept going until their skulls broke and they died. Afterwards, the families wanted to report it, but the authorities actually told everyone to stay away from her. Lately, though, she seems to be getting worse. If anyone even glances at her, they get dragged off for a wedding. Honestly, you're pretty unlucky. After all these years since you came to this world, you've just been getting by as a storyteller. Recently, a big tipper gave you a bunch of money. You figured you'd finally take care of some personal stuff, but you ran into the crazy woman digging through trash. You couldn't help but make eye contact with her. You were in a good mood at that moment. So you stupidly said, "What are you looking at?" Next thing you know, that crazy woman started chasing you. Hey, husband. I saw you. Right now, you're holding your breath. So scared you don't even dare to breathe. Afraid the crazy woman might spot you and drag you to get married. Luckily, you're hiding in a corner, and she hasn't seen you. She just slowly walks farther and farther away. Soon, she's gone. Finally, she's gone. You lift off the basket covering your head and let out a huge sigh of relief. Nope, can't stay in this city any longer. You grit your teeth, deciding she's just too dangerous. You gotta get out of town for a few days. So you turn to leave. But just then, your eyes widen in fear. A chilling feeling shoots up your spine without you noticing. That crazy woman is standing right behind you, staring at you, super curious. Gulp you nervously swallow, and force a smile uglier than crying. Hi. The next second, you take off running, but as soon as you take a step, the crazy woman grabs your wrist. Husband, time for the wedding. Hey, let's get married. Let go of me. You struggle like crazy, but she's insanely strong. You, a grown man, can't even break free. Feels like your wrist is locked in an iron clamp. You crazy woman. Who's your husband? Who's marrying you?
hey, getting married.
She just ignores your fighting back and drags you, bouncing along out of the city. You go pale with fear. Everybody knows. The crazy woman lives in the Chenghuang temple outside the city. If you really get taken there, you're dead for sure. Along the way, people hiding on the street see she's caught someone and all peek out, looking sorry for you. TSK, another poor soul. Such a shame, so young. To save your neck, you force yourself to calm down and cautiously say, "Lady, can you let go? I'll walk myself, okay?" But out of nowhere, she suddenly stops in her tracks, spins around, smack. She slaps you hard across the face. You're instantly stunned. "Why'd you hit me?" Pervert, her eyes are fierce. She glares at you, bloodshot. "Who's your wife?" Crazy people are just nuts, so unpredictable. You hold your swollen cheek, almost in tears. "Didn't you say we're getting married?" Wedding. But suddenly her fierce look turns blank, like she's trying hard to remember something. At the same time, you feel her grip on your wrist gets a bit looser. Yes, you look surprised. You shout behind her, "Father-in-law." "Dad, you came." Sure enough, she lets go and turns around, excited. You make the most of it and bolt. By the time she realizes she got tricked, you slipped into a little alley. You can't get away. You hear her weird laugh behind you, and she chases right after. Luckily, all these years, even if you're not doing well, you know every street and alley in this city. You know the place by heart. So you weave through lots of twists and turns, duck through every opening, and dive anywhere you can. About the time it takes to burn an incense stick later, in some random alley, you're leaning over, hands on knees, panting hard, and glancing back non-stop. Seeing she's not chasing anymore, you finally wipe the cold sweat off your forehead. Finally lost her. You sigh at your bad luck and get ready to leave. There's a sharp turn ahead in the alley. But when you reach the corner, you freeze. The other end of the alley is full of corpses. A man in black stands coldly in the middle. You both silently lock eyes. This is it. I'm so screwed. You just ran into a murder scene. You stand there for a second, then casually turn around and mumble, "Oh man, looks like it's gonna rain." I better go bring in my laundry. You do your thing. And you just leave after saying that. Only got a few steps out. Before you take off running, the man in black sees and pulls out his sword to chase you. Seeing him on your tail, you nearly have a heart attack. But what's worse is, that crazy woman, no idea when, is already standing at the entrance of the alley up ahead, grinning freakishly at you. In front, the creepy laughing crazy woman. Behind, a sword-toting killer coming at you. You're trapped between a rock and a hard place. No way out. Hey, husband. Wedding, the man in black freezes too. When he sees the crazy woman appear, he slows down a bit, but keeps edging toward you with his sword. There's still red blood dripping from the blade. You're numb all over, but your mind races, and you make a snap decision. Getting caught by her is a pain, but if the guy in black gets you, you're dead on the spot. So, you run up and hug her leg. Point at the guy in black, super scared. Honey, save me. It's not that I won't marry you. It's that he's stopping me. Her eyes suddenly turn fierce, locking on the man in black. He feels her scary killer aura. But instead of backing off, comes closer. A flash of cold light. His sword stabs right at her head. She grins like mad, steps forward, wild as ever. And they clash in that narrow alley, fighting fiercely, watching them go at it. You don't even think. Just scramble up and run. After running some distance, you suddenly realize you're running the wrong way. You should have run in the direction the crazy woman came from. But in your panic, you headed straight toward where the man in black was killing people. By the time you notice, it's too late. The crazy woman and the man in black are fighting each other. There's no way you can go back. You grit your teeth, get ready to step over the bodies and escape. You don't know if it's nerves or panic. But as you step over a corpse, your foot slips, and you fall right on top of one. Your face ends up pressed right against a woman's dead face. She actually looks kind of pretty. If she didn't look so lifeless, she'd almost seem alive. Damn, what am I thinking now of all times? These weird thoughts keep popping up. As you scramble to get up off the dead woman, your hand accidentally grabs something cold in the pile of bodies. It's a jade pendant. Things are intense. You don't have time to think. You just shove it into your clothes and take off running. You're running for your life. When you finally snap out of it, you end up in front of a small, run-down house. Looking around at the familiar area, you let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, some safety. This is your home in the north part of Kanju City. It's all poor families here. The woman is in the south now. It's nearly impossible for them to find you. Like finding a needle in a haystack, you let out a heavy breath and head toward a courtyard not far away. As you step inside, you suddenly hear strange noises. With a weird look, you push open the yard door. To the east, a woman in plain, rough clothes is airing her bedding in a classy way. But the strange sounds are coming from the west room. An old man missing a front tooth is by the window, peeking inside like a creep. He clicks his tongue and makes crude comments as he watches. Normally, you'd probably check it out too. Auntie Lee in the west room might be a little chubby and not much to look at, but she's got a good voice. Even just hearing her is a treat. But after what happened with the crazy woman and the man in black, you're still shaken up, so you're not in the mood for that. You just head straight to your room. Old Chin, who was peeping, sees you come back and instinctively asks, Zhao Chun, aren't you coming to watch? As soon as Old Chin says that, a loud angry yell comes from the west room. Old Chin bolts out of there instantly. A rough-looking man swings the door open, glances around, doesn't spot Old Chin, spits on the ground and curses. Then, as he goes back in, he spots the woman airing her bedding, smiles slyly. Hey girl, you home alone all night. Want to have some fun together? The woman gives him an icy look, then turns and goes inside. The man just laughs nastily and heads back inside too. When you get in your room, you grab a basin of cold water, wash your face, and finally calm down. Today was way too intense. Suddenly your stomach growls loudly. Then you realize you were so busy running for your life, you haven't eaten anything all day. You dig out a few eggs from a jar, step outside and take a look around. The commotion in the west room is still going, so you walk to the east room, peek inside, and quietly call out, Qingji. Are you here, Qingji? A small head peeks out from inside. A little girl, about 3 or 4, looks at you cautiously and says, Uncle, Mom went out. Little fish. You smile and ask if there's any leftover food at home. Can you get me a bowl? Little fish tilts her head, studying you. After a quick look, she hurries back inside. After a moment, she comes out holding a big wooden bowl with both hands. It's full of leftover rice. You take it from her, glance around, mess up her hair with a grin, and say, Don't call me uncle next time. Call me brother, okay? Why? What are you doing? Just then, a cold voice comes from behind you. You freeze and slowly turn around. Qingji stands there holding a basket, her eyes sharp as she looks at you. Qingji catches you in the act.
Busted.
You stammer. I wasn't doing anything, just borrowing some leftover rice. Qingji glances at the bowl with a frown. Her brow furrows a bit, but she doesn't say anything. She just grabs little fish and leads her inside, scolding as they go. How many times have I told you? If I'm not home, don't open the door for strangers. But Uncle Chan isn't a stranger. Doesn't matter. Hearing the mother and daughter talk, you awkwardly scratch your nose, then head for the kitchen. Filling your belly is what matters. Once in the kitchen, you borrow some cooking oil and some scallions, and fry up a huge bowl of egg-fried rice. As a single guy, you're not picky about food. As long as you're not hungry, it's all good. You pick up your fried rice and just leave the kitchen. When a chubby woman is leaning at your door, you freeze for a second, then force a smile and walk up. Auntie Lee, what brings you here? I'm not your aunt. Don't you call me that. Lianti says coldly. Chun, let me ask you. Your rent's half a month overdue. When will you pay it? If you can't, then get lost now. No problem. I'll give it to you right now. You put your fried rice down on the table and start searching yourself for the money. The reward money you got last time should be enough to cover rent. But as you keep searching, your face goes pale. Your money pouch is gone. No way. That can't be. You checked your pouch before you left this morning. It was definitely on you. Did you drop it when the crazy woman was chasing you? Did you lose it then? No money. Auntie Lee leans at the door, snorts, then get the hell out. I have money, I promise. Realizing your pouch is gone, you force a straight face, walk to the bed, fish out your last 10 coins from under the pillow, and hand them over with a forced smile. Sis Lee, I really have money, but my pouch is gone. This is all I have right now. Can you give me a few more days? I'll pay you back for sure. Auntie Lee snatches the 10 coins and says coldly, 3 days. I'm only giving you 3 more days. If you can't pay the rent, get out. No money but still eating eggs like others. Go live in a rundown temple. Aunt Lee left, mumbling angrily. But you didn't dare to talk back. When you're poor, your spirit shrinks. No money means you get no respect. After she left, you stared at that bowl of fried rice with egg. You lost your appetite. Annoyed, you lay in bed, feeling upset and worried. Rent is half a tael of silver a month. Not expensive, but you still can't afford it. And even worse, it's hard enough to save money, but you lost it. 3 days to get half a tael of silver. For you, that's impossible. You earn just 20 or 30 coins a day telling stories. And that's after subtracting protection fees and daily expenses. You can't save anything. Restless, you toss and turn in bed. Right as you're feeling stressed, you feel something poking you on the bed. You reach out, and it's that jade pendant you picked off the pile of corpses. You sit up immediately. You look closely at the pendant. This jade pendant isn't ordinary. Regular pendants usually show dragons, phoenixes, or landscapes. But this one has a little figure in a sitting pose carved on it. Pretty strange. Just then, sunlight shines in through the window. You hold up the jade pendant. Under the sunlight, the jade glitters like water waves. Bright green all over. It's a true treasure. What is this? You were about to put it away, but then saw under the sunlight, the little figure in that weird pose has a faint red trace inside its body. It spreads all over like the body's meridians. There are faint white spots at some key points. Your heart skips a beat. Could this be some kind of cultivation technique? Once that thought hits you, you can't help but say it out loud. You've met some folks from the martial world over the years. You know there are masters who can walk walls and roofs, like that crazy woman and the guy in black. You tried to pay to learn from a master once, but they were all scams. You quickly grab some paper and a brush. Draw the meridians and pose from the jade figure. Then you pull out a medical book. Check the acupoints carefully. At the same time, you mimic that strange pose exactly, trying to figure out something. As you study, you get completely absorbed. When you finally snap out of it, it's almost evening. Oddly enough, your body's usually weak. But after a whole afternoon, you weren't tired at all. Instead, you feel more energetic. Still, you don't think much about it right now. Because it's almost time to work tonight, you quickly finish your fried rice. Grab your cloth bag and head out. Making money telling stories takes some skill. Rich people in Gwangju hire their own theater troupes. Poor folks work during the day and crash into bed at night from exhaustion. Only the middle class have time to go out at night for entertainment. And they're the ones who can tip. Fengwei Tower is just a regular restaurant in town. You enter through a side door. A young waiter quickly greets you. Storyteller, why are you so late? Storyteller is what they call performers here. You look at the waiter named Yi. Smile. Yi, I'm not late. My turn hasn't come up yet, right? Why so anxious? Yi steps forward and whispers, Storyteller. The tea leaf is here. Your face suddenly darkens. There are rules in every trade. All storytellers in Gwangju are split into 4 groups. Each has a boss. If you want to perform here, you must pay tribute. That's the protection fee 20%. This Lord Chai is one of your bosses. What's Lord Chai here for? You ask quietly. Yi glances around and whispers, looks like they're raising the tribute.
You nod.
Pat Yi on the shoulder. I'll treat you to a meal sometime. Storyteller, you're too polite. Yi says awkwardly. You better go now. Lord Chai's waiting. You frown, feeling something's off. Yi usually calls you Brother Chun, but today he switched to Storyteller Chun, clearly keeping his distance. But you keep it cool. You take a deep breath and head to a room on the 2nd floor. No choice, you gotta make a living in Gwangju. Even if you sense trouble, you still have to go. Upstairs, you spot a room right away, with 2 men in short robes, looking fierce. They're Lord Chai's bodyguards. Excuse me, I'm looking for Lord Chai. The 2 size you up, but don't say much. They open the door and let you in. Inside, a tall man with a scar on his face and a full beard under his rich robe sits confidently at the main spot, holding a curvy woman. They're laughing together.
He has some lackeys behind him.
On one side of the room, a row of people stand with their heads down, just like you. They're storytellers. You take a deep breath, walk in, and salute Lord Chai. Lord Chai, but he doesn't even look at you, just laughs with the woman, honey. Feed me a drink imported only. Oh, Lord Chai, you're so naughty. The woman shyly smacks him. Stop, there are guests here. Lord Chai drops his smile, looks at you coldly, and says impatiently, make it quick. From now on, you give up half of earnings every day. Half? A guy next to you widens his eyes and stares at Lord Chai. Lord Chai, that's against the rules, right? We already paid 20%. Now you want half. How are we supposed to survive? Rules? Lord Chai scans everyone coldly and scoffs, my rules are the rules. If you don't like it, leave. Don't bother trying to make a living here.
He leans back a bit
And gives a look. Anyone who doesn't agree can get lost. You stay still, half, means turning over half your income daily. That's way too much. Gwangju isn't the only place with bosses. They can always go work for someone else. You stay put because you don't want to be the first to speak up, waiting for someone else to lead. And sure enough, a few storytellers mutter together. Then the same guy steps up. Gongshu Dao tea leaves. The green hills stay the same. The river keeps on flowing. With that, he turned and started to leave. But just as he reached the door, a guard pulled a dagger from his sleeve. He instantly stabbed at the man's vital spot.
Hey, the man clutched his neck.
His eyes full of disbelief, he glared at Boss Chai as he turned, then collapsed heavily to the floor, and never moved again. Watching this, your eyelids twitched. The foot you had just raised, quietly lowered back down. Boss Chai looked at the man on the floor coldly, and casually said, "Can't survive, huh? Then don't bother living. Problem solved now, right?" At this point, He smiled at the rest of you. So, who agrees with Shi Chengwu's proposal? Who's against it? Anyone dare now? Since no one objects, get lost then. Seeing the body on the ground, none of you dared to stick around. All lowered your heads and hurried out. Changqing, you followed the crowd. Just as you were about to leave, Boss Chai's voice called from behind. You paused mid-step, forced a smile, turned to Boss Chai. Not sure what you want. Chai wrapped his arm around that frightened woman, leaning back in his chair, and said in a low voice, I'm interested in your so-called journey to the West. Give me the rest of the story. Journey to the West is your current livelihood. You admit you're not the best storyteller, but the story itself is great, so plenty of people want it. You took a deep breath. Looking at Chai, you said, Boss Chai, journey to the West is how I make a living. If I hand it over, I'll lose my income. Don't worry, I won't starve my own guys. Suddenly, Tea Leaves stood up, came right up to you, grabbed your chin. Bro, you smell real nice. Stick with me from now on. I'll make sure you never worry about food or clothes. Goosebumps shot up all over you. A wave of nausea hit. You instantly realized why Tea Leaves smelled so gross. Your stomach turned. You quickly stepped back, putting distance between you and Boss Chai, face darkening. Boss Chai, that's one hell of a joke. He sniffed the fingers he'd grabbed your chin with, his gaze turning cold. Who's joking? You turned to run. If you don't run now, you're headed straight for disaster. But before you could reach the door, the two guards blocked your way. Your heart sank. No way out now. Your face changed color again and again. You forced a twisted, miserable smile. Tea Leaves, that's sudden. Let me think about it. Sure. Tea Leaves looked at you greedily. Don't even think about running. He patted your shoulder, sneered. I'll have someone watch you. You won't get away. You felt sick, but forced yourself to show nothing. Seeing how reluctant you were, Tea Leaves just laughed out loud, then waved at the seductive woman. Zhao Kui, let's go. You stood aside with your head down, a flash of killing intent in your eyes. Boss Chai has to die. Soon, you had a plan. Dangerous, but it's your only shot. It's a gamble now, or your dignity is lost forever. You called this risky move Operation Dignity. You took a deep breath and left the room as if nothing happened. The two guards by the door were watching you with mocking eyes. You ignored them and headed straight for the storytelling stage. Chen Huan, are you okay? Just as you reached the first floor, you saw Auntie waiting at the stairs. She looked at you with concern. I'm fine, you replied calmly. Is it my turn to perform now? Yeah, it's your turn. You walked straight to the stage. Same as always, tapped the wooden block, and began journey to the west, as if nothing had happened. Dealing with this kind of thing, it's impossible not to be scared. But you know panic doesn't help. Gotta make a living anyway. Wanna know what happens next? Tune in to the next session. An hour later, you stood and bowed, took your tips and left the stage. Counted the money. Made a bit over 40 coins. You paid 10 coins to the tavern. Room fee, so 30 left. By the new rules. You handed 15 coins to Boss Chai's men. So today you only made a sad little 15 coins. Normally, you'd hit up other taverns, try to earn some extra cash. But not today. You started wandering around town, making sure Boss Chai's two men kept following you. You casually headed toward the city god's temple, passing a fabric store. You spent 15 coins, bought a bunch of worthless scraps, then borrowed a needle and thread to sew an ugly pillow. Done with all that, you kept heading out of the city. Yeah, you're looking for a bodyguard. That crazy lady is nuts, but she's strong. It's just a wedding, right? With a pillow for protection. How could that actually kill you? Maybe if you get through the wedding, she'd take you as her man. Then you can use her against Boss Chai. Easy as pie. Might just be your hope. Beats that kind of humiliation. It's getting late. You're heading farther out of town. The two guys sharing a look. Hurry to catch up. Block your path. Coldly tell you to go back. Or else face the consequences. Looking at them, you smiled apologetically, guys. I'm not trying to run. Boss T wants Journey to the West, right? I'm going to get it for him. Then you should go home and get it. One of them said coldly. Instead of heading out of town? Bro, you don't understand? You really don't understand. Journey to the West is too valuable. I wouldn't dare keep it at home. I hid it somewhere safe. You looked at them nervously and timidly. He might be telling the truth. The other guy muttered, I searched his house. Didn't find a thing. Hearing that, your urge to kill grew stronger. But you kept a smile on your face. The two exchanged a glance. One of them threatened you, saying, you better behave. If you dare try to run, I'll break your legs right here. Okay. You wiped the nervous sweat from your forehead. With these two guys here, how could I even think of escaping? At least you know what's good for you. One of them snorted and stepped aside. You let out a sigh of relief. As you walked, you asked, may I ask your names, sirs? Why do you think I want to get back at you too? One of them gave you a sideways glare. No, not at all. You quickly waved your hand, saying, I just thought, once I'm with Boss Chai, we could have each other's backs. You two probably don't want to be door guards forever, right? As soon as you said that, both their faces turned a bit sour. After walking in silence for a while, one of them chuckled. Guys like us ain't afraid of payback. We're not scared of revenge. I never change my name, or my last name. I'm Lei Wen and he's Lei Wu. You two are brothers? Lei Wen grunted in reply. Then the three of you fell silent again. When you reached the outer area, it got even quieter all around. You could only hear each other's footsteps. You kept walking, not knowing how long. Lei Wu impatiently asked, how much farther? We're almost there. You looked around at your surroundings, pointed ahead and said, it's just up there. In the distance, amidst the darkness, the outline of the Chengwang temple was barely visible. Lei Wu frowned at the temple. No way. Not you. You quickly said, I hid it behind the temple.
Guys.
If you're scared, I'll go get it myself. You can wait here.
Pa.
Lei Wu chuckled. We're not made of clay. What's there to be scared of? Be big bro. This is that crazy lady's turf, right? Lei Wen whispered a reminder. Crazy old hag. Lei Wu's eyelid twitched too. But he still tried to act tough. What's there to be afraid of? We're not going inside the temple. How could we mess with her? Then he looked at you again and said coldly, kid, don't try any tricks. I'll give you the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Go and bring the stuff over. We'll keep watch for you here, just in case that crazy lady shows up. His voice was trembling, yet he said he wasn't afraid. You rolled your eyes inside, but on the outside said, guys, wait here for a bit. I'll be right back. After speaking, you took a deep breath. Then you walked alone toward the temple. You say you're not scared? Of course I am. I mean, that's a crazy woman. Who knows what she'd do? But you have no way out. Either she kills you, or you go back to be humiliated. You pick the first one. Better to die than give in. Soon you reach the temple entrance. This place has been in ruins for ages. Cobwebs and crumbling walls everywhere. The roof even had a big hole, letting the cold moonlight shine in, making it feel eerily cold. You took a deep breath again, and slowly pushed open the temple door. Creak from years of neglect. The door groaned under the strain. It made your teeth ache and gave you goosebumps. You carefully poked your head inside. In the cold moonlight, a headless Chenghuang statue was sitting in the temple. But you didn't see that crazy woman, she was gone. You glanced all around. Still no sign of anyone. Your head was spinning for a second. If you can't find her, you're doomed. With no other choice, you slowly stepped inside the temple. At the same time, you called out quietly, Madam? Madam, are you here? I'm here to marry you. You walked around the temple, but only found a stinky bedding on the floor. Still didn't see her. She's really not here. Your heart sank. At that moment, you suddenly felt a cold breeze, right on the back of your neck. It was icy, almost piercing. Where's that wind coming from? You looked around, confused. No, that's not wind. Someone's breathing on me. Your body went stiff. You slowly turned your head. A woman in a red wedding dress, with messy hair, was standing right behind you. Her eyes stared straight at you. You nearly blacked out on the spot. In this broken-down temple, bathed in chilly moonlight, with this creepy woman, standing silently behind you, and breathing down your neck. Who wouldn't be scared? You felt like your heart was being squeezed, stopped beating. It took a while before you snapped back to yourself. This isn't a ghost. It's that crazy woman. You forced a smile uglier than crying. Stammered, Madam. But as soon as you said madam, the crazy woman's eyes turned fierce. She suddenly reached out and grabbed your neck, lifting you up with one hand. You're nearly 6 feet tall, but she picked you up like nothing. That strength was terrifying. The moment her hand closed on your throat, you couldn't breathe. Your face turned bright red. No matter how hard you struggled, it was useless. Panicking, all you could do was smack her arm and gasp out, wedding ceremony. Those 2 words seemed to have magic in them. When she heard them, her fierce look disappeared. Even a bit of sanity flickered in her eyes, though it was quickly lost again. Excitement flashed in her cloudy eyes. Wedding ceremony, hee. Wedding ceremony, she let you go. And giggling crazily started looking all over the temple, mumbling about something. Where's the stuff? Where is it? You gasped for air, but didn't try to escape. Instead, you pulled out the hand-sewn pillow from your pocket. This was your lifesaver. Got it? Found it. Right then, the crazy woman rooted through a corner and pulled out a jet-black memorial tablet. Found it. Found it! Zhao Ziyan hugged the black tablet and ran around the temple in delight. After a bit, she jumped onto the altar, hugged the headless statue tightly. Then, right in front of your stunned eyes, she started lifting the statue. The thing was at least 10 or 12 feet tall, carved from stone, even without a head. It must have weighed over 500 pounds. She picked it up like it was nothing. You gulped hard. At that moment, you started to wonder if coming here was a mistake. With a huge crash, Zhao Zuyan threw the statue out. Dust flew everywhere. You waved away the dust in your face and saw Zhao Zuyan carefully placing that tablet upright on the altar. In the moonlight, you could barely make out the characters on it. Father, Zhao Zhengguo. Mother, Wu Yuzi. Memorial, daughter Zhao Zuyan. So her name is Zhao Zuyan. While you were staring at the memorial in a daze, Zhao Zuyan had already come up beside you. And before you could react, she grabbed you and dragged you down to kneel in front of the memorial. You were already mentally prepared, so you quickly pulled out your makeshift cloth pillow. Pillow in front of you. Just place the pillow. Suddenly, a huge force hits you from behind. It pushes you down hard. Bang, your head hits with a loud thud. Zhao Ziyan bows her head too. Then you get grabbed up again and slammed back down again. You notice, with each bow, Zhao Ziyan mumbles something no one can understand. You were ready to bow all day and night, but you didn't expect. After about half an hour, Zhao Ziyan suddenly lets you go, even with the torn cloth pillow. After bowing nonstop for an hour, you still feel dizzy. Your mind's a bit fuzzy. After she let go, you blankly look up and ask why you stopped. As you look up, you finally notice, you don't know when, Zhao Ziyan's cloudy eyes have turned blood red, full of anger and killing intent. Before you can react, Zhao Ziyan gets up and rushes out, quickly disappears into the darkness. You stare at the pitch-black night outside the Chengwang temple, a bit lost, not sure what just happened. But you have 2 choices now. Before she comes back, hurry up and leave. Maybe you'll survive. Or stay and wait here. After thinking a bit, you decide to wait. It's simple. You don't want to face Lord Chai. After a while, feeling bored, you suddenly remember the weird pose on your jade pendant. Might as well use this time to practice. So you start practicing that pose. Strangely enough, as you form that odd pose, your dizzy head clears up, and you feel more energetic. Too bad though. Aside from feeling refreshed, you don't sense any inner power. Bang bang. Just then, 2 heavy thuds echo inside the Chengwang temple. It scares you badly. You quickly open your eyes. When you see what happens next, your eyelid twitches involuntarily. Zhao Zuyan stands at the doorway, hair wild. At her feet lie 2 bodies, the Lei brothers, Lei Wen and Lei Wu. Their necks twisted 180 degrees, eyes full of shock and terror. Dead as can be. Gulp. You swallow hard. This woman is terrifying. She twisted their heads off barehanded. You cautiously ask Miss Zhao, "Are we still going to finish the wedding ceremony?" Zhao Zuyan, eyes blood red, suddenly looks up at you. That stare chills you, but luckily she soon looks away. Her gaze shifts up to the roof. You look as well. Beneath the moonlight, a figure flashes past a hole in the rooftop. You thought Zhao Zuyan would chase after them. But she doesn't. She grabs a dagger from somewhere, squats by the lay brother's bodice, then, to your horror, digs out their hearts, places one each as offerings in front of the memorial. You hold your breath, terrified to make a sound, afraid you'll be next as an offering. After setting the offerings, Zhao Zuyan kneels beside you again. Looking closer, the blood red in her eyes is gone. Back to her confused, dazed look. You hesitate a moment, but can't help asking what's wrong. As soon as you finish speaking, Zhao Ziyan grabs you and resumes bowing. Bang bang, the bows keep echoing. You see stars. Wait. Unable to take it, you shout, Miss Zhao. We've already done the ceremony. Done, Zhao Ziyan pauses holding your hand, then turns her head, stares at you with confused, dazed eyes. Seeing that look, you relax. She's crazy, but at least she understands speech. You quickly gesture that you already bowed and finished. Finished, don't you remember? You nervously watch her. Zhao Zuyan tilts her head staring, as if she's trying to remember if you're telling the truth. The temple is eerily silent. You hold your breath with tension. No idea how long passes. Zhao Zuyan finally seems to remember something. Her eyes brighten a bit. Hee, she says, wedding ceremony. It's over now. I finished the ceremony. So, what comes next? She kneels there, eyes full of confusion. You finally breathe easy. The wedding ceremony checkpoint is over. You glance at the lay brothers' dead eyes, thinking I should thank these two. They kinda saved my life. Don't worry. I'm someone who repays favors. I'll make sure your family is reunited. With this in mind, Zhao Zuan suddenly shouts excitedly, I remembered. So next up, the wedding chamber. You freeze, looking at her in shock. After making eye contact, you get up and run. The ceremony was torment enough. If you have to share the bridal chamber with this mad woman, you'd rather be killed. But just as you run a few steps, Zhao Zuyan grabs your ankle and trips you. You fall right in front of the lay brothers. Their dead eyes stare at you. In the white haze of their eyes, you see your own reflection being dragged into darkness. No. In the dark, you cry out in despair and rage. The next day, it's bright and sunny. You're sprawled inside the Chengwang temple, staring at sunlight coming through the rooftop, eyes blank, muttering it's over. I'm dirty now. I'm not queen anymore. So humiliating. A woman actually forced herself on me. Bang, just then, a commotion echoes in the Chengguang temple. You shiver corpse-like, frantically, grab your torn clothes, and curl up. Then, you see Zhao Zuyan equally disheveled, holding a shabby bowl walking in. No, don't come over. You back away in terror. As soon as you move, you wince and grab your lower back. Feels like your waist is broken. Zhao Zujiang giggles and hands the bowl to you, looking at you with pure childlike eyes. You meet her gaze, but then quickly look away. You feel she's different from last night. Last night was pure madness. But after sleeping together, she looks curious about the world, just like a kid discovering everything. This change actually makes you anxious. Zhao Zuyan offers the bowl again, right to your lips. She sounded a bit impatient. You took a quick look. The bowl held a bright green soup. You had no idea what it was. But given how brutal this woman was, you didn't dare refuse. You awkwardly took the cracked bowl. Carefully, you sipped it. Surprisingly, the soup actually tasted good. After a whole night of chaos, you were totally drained. Unable to resist, you gulped it all down. You burped. Looking at her, Zhao Zuyan grinned back at you. Just then, a frog suddenly jumped out of nowhere. Zhao Zuyan grabbed it in an instant. She held it up in front of her, fascinated. She studied it. After a moment, she raised the frog and shouted, I'm the frog general. Who goes there? Huh, where do you think you're going? She ran around inside the temple with the frog, gleefully. You watched this scene, let out a deep sigh. I thought she got normal. Turns out she's still crazy. Suddenly, Zhao Zuan stopped in front of you. She bent down and stared at you. You thought she'd overheard your complaint? Got scared and jumped. Stuttered, what are you doing? Before you could finish, Zhao Zuyan shoved the live frog into your mouth. A slippery sensation and a strong fishy taste flooded your mouth. Pa, pa. You retched and quickly spat it out. The frog snapped. Are you sick? I am sick, hehe. I am sick. Zhao Zuyan laughed and hopped joyfully. I am sick. I am sick. She acted like a happy child for a while, then ran outside the temple. Ah, seeing her like this. You rubbed your brow, frustrated. Damn it, you said angrily, Chai. If I don't get revenge, I'm not human. If it weren't for Chai, you wouldn't have come to find this crazy woman, or gotten tortured by her all night, the whole night long. Just thinking about it, your back hurts. You took a deep breath, held your waist, and slowly stood up from the ground, headed outside. You walked very slowly, partly because your waist ached, but mainly because you're wobbling, weak and shaky, no strength, passing the altar. You grabbed the memorial tablet. The bodies and hearts of the lay brothers were gone, probably handled by the crazy woman. You walked out of the temple holding the memorial tablet. The moment sunlight touched your face, you felt reborn. After letting your eyes adjust, you noticed a big water vat in front of the temple. Steam poured from the boiling vat. Zhao Zuyan stood by the water vat, stirring with a stick over and over. Seemed like she was cooking something. But soon your stomach churned. You noticed the lay brothers' clothes tossed carelessly by the lake. Big vat, bodies. Then remembered that green soup from earlier. You threw up immediately, wishing you could vomit your whole stomach out. After a long while, pale-faced, you pointed at Zhao Zuyan, the mistress. Frog General, Martial Vanguard, Snake Leader, hee. But Zhao Zuyan just ignored you, focused solely on stirring the pot. Your face changed a bit, but you finally worked up the courage and went over. No matter if it had human flesh, you had to check. Otherwise, forget about ever drinking soup again. You carefully edged over to the vat, peered inside. Your tense heart finally relaxed. It wasn't human meat inside. It was full of frogs, centipedes, snakes, and birds. Still creepy to look at. But compared to human meat, it was easier to accept. Scared me to death. You breathed out in relief. I thought you were cooking human meat. Zhao Zuyan ignored you. Her eyes locked onto the tablet in your arms. Her gaze turned bloodshot and crazed. Seeing this, you quickly raised the tablet and asked, "Who is this?" "Parents. So who am I?" You pointed at yourself and asked. Zhao Zuyan stared at you for a while, laughed and said, "You think I'm stupid? You're my husband." Then she stopped paying attention to the tablet, excitedly went back to stirring the pot. You twitched your mouth, thinking if she's not crazy, then no one is. But seeing her drop her guard, you kept asking, "I'm your husband. So shouldn't you listen to me?" Zhao Zuyan, while stirring, looked blankly at Listen. "Yes, listen. Good, listen." She clapped and laughed loudly, clearly just agreeing on the surface. So you took a deep breath, raised the tablet and yelled, "Zhao Zuyan, if you don't listen to me, our dad will beat you up." Zhao Zuyan's smile turned to fear instantly. She hugged her head and begged, "Dad, don't hit me. I'll behave. I'll listen to you." Seeing her beg, you knew you guessed right again. "Will you really listen?" You squatted by her and asked. Zhao Zuyan glanced at the tablet in your hand, nodded in fear. You tore up your ragged clothes, wrapped the tablet. Not scared anymore, right? No, not scared. Seeing the tablet covered up, Zhao Zuyan looked relieved. You paused for a second, pointed at the lay brothers' clothes, asked, "Where are those two from last night?" Zhao Zuyan quickly pointed at a freshly dug mound nearby. You buried both of them. You probed with another question. She nodded over and over. Then why keep their clothes? Zhao Zuyan quickly pulled a money pouch from the clothing, handed it to you. Money, you were a bit stunned. You took the pouch and peeked. Whoa, there was actually silver inside. Judging by weight, at least a dozen taels. Anything else? You put away the pouch and asked. No, Zhao Zuyan dumbly shook her head. You searched around. Sure enough, nothing else. You threw their clothes into the fire and burned them. Stood up and said, "Let's go. Come home with me." You took a few steps and saw Zhao Zuyan standing still. Had to urge her, What are you doing over there? Let's go. Zhao Zuan came over, grabbing your clothes. She pointed at the messy pot and said pitifully. You were briefly confused, then quickly understood. She's totally nuts. Of course he wouldn't go buy food. This pot of stuff must be his meal. After a moment of silence, you ask, is this what you always ate before? The dazed Zhao Zuyan happily nodded.
Amy sighed.
You held her hand. You said seriously, from now on we won't eat this stuff anymore. Come on, I'll take you to buy some buns. Once she heard the word meat bun, Zhao Zuyan's eyes lit up. She started drooling. She looked at you with excitement. Let's go get some meat buns. You held her hand and left City God Temple without looking back. After you left, you didn't take her to buy food right away. You stopped by a clothing shop first. You bought new clothes for both of you. Since Zhao Zuyan was going to be your bodyguard, you got her a set of black and gray activewear. Her tall, proud figure stood out instantly. Once you washed her face for her and tied her hair into a ponytail, you couldn't stop smiling. Zhao Zuyan, in her new clothes, looked soft like a woman, but also strong like a man. She was absolutely stunning. Too bad she's not too bright. But then you think, if she weren't a bit slow, she wouldn't end up with you. You changed into a blue scholar's robe yourself. Looking pretty already, you seemed even more refined now. Altogether, the two outfits cost you 5 taels of silver. You still had 6 taels left. After paying the rent, you still had some money. Guess it's true. Horses don't get fat without nightgrass. And people don't get rich without luck. You looked at your silver and sighed. Then you bought Zhao Zuyan a bunch of meat buns and headed home with her. Maybe because you were both dressed differently. Nobody on the street recognized her. No one thought she was the female lunatic who used to scare everyone. Hey, little Chun, look at you, striking it rich. As soon as you got back to the yard, you saw old Chin the night watchman sunbathing. He saw Zhao Zuyan behind you eating buns and asked in surprise, is this your wife? You didn't hide it. You pulled Zhao Zuyan close and showed her off, so what do you think? Pretty and round, right? Old Chin's eyes landed on the buns in her arms. Your face darkened right away. You quickly stood in front of him. You'd better be talking about the buns. Old Chin laughed awkwardly, trying to cover up the awkwardness. But just then, he noticed a figure coming out of the east room. His eyes shifted. He put on a serious face and said, Little Chun, you brought home a wife. Why aren't you chasing your sister anymore? I remember you, kid. You always tricked Zhao Yu into calling you dad. You happened to be facing away from the east room and didn't see who came out. Qingji grinned. Of course I'm chasing her. Why wouldn't I? With my devastatingly good looks, winning Qingji is easy. A chill started to spread. Old Chin smirked and kept on. But don't you already have a wife? Why are you chasing her too? Hey, what do you know? You scoffed. Kids make choices. Grown-ups want it all. You barely finished the sentence when you saw Qingji walk by you with a cold face. The chill could be felt even from outside the yard. Qingji, hear me out. Go away, she snapped. You got a glare from her. Old Chin, gleeful, tried to pull Zhao Zuyan inside, dragging her toward the house. But after a few tugs, she wouldn't budge. You turned to look and saw Zhao Zuyan staring hard at Qingji's back. You got nervous all at once, afraid she'd go wild again. You quickly whispered, behave. Come with me, or I'll have your dad spank you. Zhao Zuyan shivered, then let you lead her inside willingly. In the yard, Qingji, who was about to do laundry, watched Zhao Zuyan's back and frowned slightly. Then, expressionless, she went back to work. But then you came rushing out from inside, staring at Old Chin and shouting, Old Chin, did you come into my place last night and mess with my stuff? Turns out, as soon as you walked in, the room was a mess. Someone had totally ransacked it. Little Chun, don't go blaming me for nothing. Old Chin jumped up.
He pointed at you, mad. Hey, I may have sticky fingers.
But I wouldn't steal from my own neighbors. Who knows with you? Gambled again last night, didn't you? Screw you. That's enough. Break it up. Right then, Aunt Lee came out and opened the door. She gave you a cold look. Oh, now you have money to buy a wife, huh? When's the rent getting paid? You kept a straight face, took a tael of silver from your pocket and handed it over. Aunt Lee, in a good mood now, said, It wasn't old Chen who ransacked your room. Early this morning, a group of people rushed into your room and started tearing through everything. If I hadn't threatened to call the police, they wouldn't have left so easily. Listen up, Chun. Whatever trouble you make outside, don't bring it into the yard. If it happens again, find somewhere else to live. Got it, An Li. You replied, but your face darkened. Ransacking in the morning. That must have been Boss Chai. With that, you rushed inside. You pointed at the wooden bed, wife. Help me move the bed. Zhao Zuan yanked the wooden bed aside with one hand. You opened up a plank under the bed, and there was a wooden chest. Seeing the box still there, you breathed a sigh of relief. What's inside this box? Is your backup in this world? You pulled the box out and opened it. It was full of books. After looking for a while, your expression turned ugly. Your journey to the west was gone. You stared blankly at the books in the box. Zhao Zuan curiously leaned over. She quickly grabbed a thumb-thick book out of it and hid it behind her. She glanced around, pretending nothing happened. Watching this, you couldn't help but twitch your mouth. You may space out sometimes, but you're not blind. Wow, you really are clueless. You sighed helplessly and acted like you didn't see a thing. She only took a comic you drew at random. You closed the box and hid it again, then cleaned up the room for a while. After that, you saw Zhao Zuan squatting at the door, reading the comic book. Wife, come with me for a walk. You glanced at what she was reading. It was a few famous scenes of Monkey King raising hell and heaven. You took her outside. You planned to take care of the tea leaves. If you didn't deal with him for just one day, you couldn't sleep well. When you were almost at the tea guy's place, you finally can't help but snatch the comic book from his hand. Zhao Zuan's eyes instantly flashed with fierce killing intent. But when she saw it was you, she looked at you pitifully again, wanting it back. That was a fast change of attitude. You feel a headache coming on, so you try to coax her saying, I can give you the book. But you can't make me delay my business. Got it? I'll call you in a bit. When it's time to act, just do it. Leave none, understand? She nodded quickly when you asked, then looked at the comic book in your hand, all sad. Here you go. Helpless, you put the comic book back in her
Hands.
Then you turn and head over to a house up ahead. You walk a few steps, but notice Zhao Zuyan isn't following. You look back and see her hugging the comic, eyes wide, staring straight at you, not saying a word. Sis, can I just call you sis? What's up with you now? You ask, feeling frustrated. Zhao Zuyan points to the roadside. A vendor selling candied hawthorn. Amy rubs her temples. She pulls out a few coins and walks over to the vendor. 1 stick of candied hawthorn, please. I want them all. Zhao Zuan points at the big bunch of candied hawthorns in the vendor's hand. She says in a childish voice, all of them? Can you really eat them all? I want them. Tears start welling up in Zhao Zuan's eyes. All right, all of them. You turn to the vendor. How much for the whole bunch? Not much, 50 coins. I'll give you 55. And give me the sticks they're on too. Sure, you pay. You hand all the candied hawthorns to her, carrying them yourself. But don't make me late for business, okay? Got it? Won't slow you down. With the candied fruit, Zhao Zuyan is happy as a kid. People around look at her oddly. She follows you carrying that huge bundle of candied hawthorns. Knock, knock, you rap on the big door of a house. Actually, this isn't Master Chai's house. You don't even know where he lives. This is just his office as the boss. You came here once when you started out, so you know the place. The door opens quickly. A middle-aged man looks at you with suspicion. What do you want? Hello. You force a smile. I'm the storyteller from the guild. Che told me to come. Your last name's Chen, right? Yeah. Come in. He gives you a weird look. Che's waiting inside. Then he glances behind you, at Zhao Zuyan carrying all the candied hawthorns. When he sees her face, there's a look of surprise in his eyes. Wait, who's that? You're just thinking about how to explain. When he pats you on the shoulder, grins slyly, and says, good job. You're a real smart guy. You even know to bring a bonus. Hurry in. While talking,
He keeps staring at Zhao Zuyan.
he knows full well what the boss is into. This girl may be after the boss is done. He'll give her to one of the guys. Just wait and see, hee hee. You look expressionless. But Zhao Zuan hasn't noticed you at all. Right now, all his attention is on that comic book and his candied hawthorn. You walk into the yard. Dozens of burly men are practicing martial arts. These are all fighters raised by Master Chai. You walk past them. You're led into a classroom. Wait here. Master Chai is meeting with an important guest. The guy who brought you here turns and leaves. You look around. You wave at Zhao Zujuan. She's still reading her comic. She tilts her head, confused. You whisper, "Can you handle those guys outside?" Handle? Zhao Zuyan looks at you, puzzled. She doesn't get the word. I mean, kill them. You make a throat-slitting gesture. Oh, Zhao Zuyan finally gets it. She plants her candy stick on the ground. Stammering, she says, "Husband, wait for me. I'll take care of them right now." You grab her. Hold on. Don't rush yet. The main character hasn't shown up. Wait till he arrives. Then you can do it. Remember, no one here gets away. Got it? Got it. Zhao Ziyan nods, half understanding. You're wiping them all out. Because you know someone is backing Master Chai? If he hadn't cornered you, you'd actually rather not fight. You'd pick a gentler way and take him out quietly. But plotting takes time. And you happen to have none. You don't wait long. Master Chai walks in, face dark. He stares at you. He asks coldly, "Where are the lay brothers?" You stand up. "Master Chai, you'll see them soon. You'll see them very soon. Wife, go." The moment you see Master Chai, you're done talking. Once you decide to act, there's no turning back. As soon as you say it, Zhao Ziyan charges, candy stick in hand. She kicks him square in the chest. Master Chai's face changes, and he crosses his arms to block, but he immediately pales. A cracking sound is heard.
His arms guarding his chest.
Get broken by Zhao Zuoxian's kick. He flies backwards. It all happens too fast. As Master Chai lands in the courtyard, his fighters freeze. A second later, they grab their weapons and charge at Zhao Zuyan. Then, you see Zhao Zuyan tuck her comic in her belt, slam the candy stick into the ground, cracking the stone floor beneath, then shouting at everyone, "I am the Jade Emperor's nephew. Alang, the true lord of risk. You little ants dare defy the heavens? What should your punishment be?" That line almost knocks you out. No wonder she wanted all that candy. So this was the plan. In a flash, Zhao Zuan wields her stick and dives into the crowd. She swings non-stop. In just a few breaths, all of Master Chai's fighters are thrown everywhere. Seeing things go south, Master Chai scrambles to run. You never take your eyes off him. Seeing him run, you yell, "Stop messing around." He's getting away. Zhao Zuyan pulls off a candy from the stick and flings it at Master Chai. Whoosh, the candy flies like a blade and stabs right in Master Chai's butt. You see that and take a sharp breath. You instinctively cover your rear. Master Chai screams in pain and collapses to the ground just as he falls. Zhao Zuyan leaps to him and swings the candy stick at his head. "Help, Master Son." His cry for help just starts, but is cut short. His head is skewered like a candied hawthorn. He's definitely done for. Master Chai is dead. Run, the moment he's dead. The minions scatter. Wife, leave no one alive. You're not letting anyone escape. You shout at once. Zhao Zuan picks up a short blade and rushes after them. Soon, bodies are everywhere in the yard. You look at the corpses, feeling a bit uneasy inside, but it only lasts a moment. Shouldn't have picked the wrong side. Right as you ease up, applause suddenly rings out. You snap your head up. Your pupils contract. An old man with an immortal's air stands on the rooftop, hands behind his back. He looks at you with a smile. Nicely done, fast and fierce. Not the least bit merciful. Little Chai got what he deserved. Zhao Ziyan glances at you, like asking if she should finish him too. You signal her to wait. Then you ask the old man, "Master Son, do you know me?" Surprised, Master Son says, "Nope." You calmly say, "Master Chai shouted Master Son before dying. And now you appear here. So I took a guess." Smart kid. Master Son isn't sure if he's mocking or praising you. He doesn't answer you. Instead, looking at Master Chai's corpse, he asks, "You want revenge for him?" Master Son thinks for a moment. "Not long ago, Little Chai called me his godfather. But honestly, I rather like you. If you get on your knees and call me father now, I'll let you live and give you little Chai's place. That's all it takes. You look surprised. That's it. He looks down at you with pride. He's sure you'll kneel, like all those other talents before you, bowing to power. But you suddenly burst out laughing so hard you tear up. Tears are streaming down your face. Master Sun just watches amused. He's seen the scene 100 times. You wipe your eyes, and still smiling say, Master Sun, you know something? Someone once told me something similar. Just swallow a bit of pride, and I'd be almost above everyone else. I'd be powerful on top of all. You know how I chose? With such a chance, why refuse? Master Sun is surprised. How do you know I refused? You fake surprise. If I had agreed, we wouldn't be meeting like this. Right. You nod. Then your face turns serious. Master Sun, you know, I didn't just refuse him. I killed him too. His family still hasn't found his body. Master Sun's face darkens. You don't know what's good for you. You really think I don't know. You're distracting me, so that woman can ambush me. He thrust his right hand down by his feet. He yanked hard. A figure was pulled out by him. It was Zhao Zuyan. He threw Zhao Zuyan out. Luckily, Zhao Zuyan's reflexes are quick. She stepped onto the wall. She landed in the yard as light as a swallow. Your heart skips a beat, able to dodge Zhao Zuyan's sneak attack. This old man is no ordinary guy. Honey, be careful. You can't help but warn her. Hey, Zhao Zuyan chuckles at you. She then grabs the stick from the candied hawthorn. She points at Old Sun and scolds him loudly. You stubborn old fox. I, Neja, third prince of the 3 altars, have come to challenge you. You suddenly feel a headache coming on. Everything was just fine. Why act crazy now? Crazy woman, crazy words. Old Sun's face turns cold.
He pulls out a soft sword from his waist.
My soft sword and I have ruled the Southwest for 40 years, winning every fight, to die by my hand. Is your honor? He pushes off with his foot, rushing at Zhao Zuyan. He's quick as lightning. All you see is a blur, and suddenly he's right in front of Zhao Zuyan. Then you see Zhao Zuyan press her palms together. Old Sun stands before her, his eyes full of disbelief. How is this possible? Barehandedly catching a blade. No, you're wrong. Zhao Zuyan looks at the soft sword caught between her hands and cracks a grin. I'm a pro at catching blades barehanded. You can't help but twitch your mouth. In just a moment, what did this woman see or learn? You can't believe it. Looking at Old Sun's stunned face, Zhao Zuyan boldly says, if you don't believe it, try again. With that, she lets go of the sword. Old Sun doesn't hold back this time.
He thrusts the sword again.
She catches it again. Caught again.
And again.
Zhao Zuyan shouts, you damned fox. I'm totally a master at catching blades barehanded. Looks like you've mastered it too. Seems like I can't let you live. You're on a path to death now, faced with Zhao Zuyan's craziness. Old Sun is crushed. He swears he used all his strength every time. But every time, this crazy woman caught it perfectly. It's not luck. I'm just not her match. Run, just run. Noticing the gap, Old Sun turns and flees. You immediately yell, stop fooling around. I'll tell your dad if you keep this up. You never listen. Zhao Zuyan, who was so happy, suddenly looks upset. She quickly chases Old Sun down and knocks him back into the yard with one punch. Looking tearful, she says, my husband won't let me play with you. She picks up Old Sun's fallen soft sword. No. Don't kill me. Old Sun struggles to get up, but Zhao Zuyan's punch was too much. Seeing her get closer and closer, Old Sun starts to panic. Don't kill me. I'll give you anything you want. I'm rich. Before he can finish, he's decapitated with one slash. You watch Old Sun's head roll to the ground. You say coldly, sorry. Now that you're dead, all your money's mine. Then you go stand next to Zhao Zuyan. You pat her on the head and ask, you okay? Downcast a moment ago, Zhao Zuyan instantly beams with joy, seeing that she's okay. You smile and tell her, just wait for me here. I'm gonna grab some cash. If anyone barges in, no matter who it is, take care of them all. Got it? You start walking around the yard, searching everywhere. After a while of looking, you find 40 or 50 taels of silver. You stuff it all in your bag. You also find another dozen taels on Old Sun, and snatch his soft sword that doubles as a belt. Just as you're about to leave, you spot a piece of leather sticking out of Old Sun's chest. You pull it out and check it. It's a map of mountain terrain, with some Taoist notes, and a red dot marked on one spot. Next to it is the word wood. You study it for a while, and look strangely at Old Sun's dead body. Was this guy a grave robber? Forget it, doesn't matter. Better hold on to it for now. You put away the leather sheet, and call Zhao Zuyan to get going. The body's been here a while, and the smell of blood is spreading. Staying longer will only cause trouble. But just as you leave the house, you freeze. There are fully armed soldiers at the gate. They're holding swords and staring at you and Zhao Zuyan coldly. Without realizing it, you've been completely surrounded. Cold sweat instantly runs down your back. You've been set up. While you're figuring out what to do, the soldiers in front suddenly part. A lady in an orange palace dress walks out gracefully. The moment you see her face, you go pale. You know who's behind this? Has to be Wang Shaoxi. The woman in yellow palace gown walks up to you. She gives you a slight bow and coolly says, "Young Master Chen, my master invites you." Pei Yun looks at her and sneers. Your master really went all out. All this just to see me once. I guess they're after me too. Your master must profit from all this, right? Young Master Chen, I have no idea what you mean. Pei Yun keeps her smile and says, my orders are to bring you to the master. What if I refuse? You stare her down, cold as ice. You will go. The air turns icy at once. After a long pause, you suddenly grin. Well, since your master wants to see me, lead the way, then. Oh, he doesn't mind if I bring my wife, does he? Hey, Yang glances at Zhao Zuyan with her comic book, who just smiles foolishly. My master didn't say you couldn't bring anyone else. Good. Lead the way. Hey, Yan leads you both through the soldiers. There's a carriage waiting in the back. Right, before you get in, you look back. The house is already in flames. The carriage is sealed all around. No windows. You have no idea where you're being taken. But you start thinking, what's this setup really for? You remember a name, and your heart aches all over again. Back when you tried to elope, she went home, and then she married someone else. Her husband is Prince Zhao Qi of Dingshu. It's been 2 years, 5 months, and 15 days. Lost in your thoughts? The carriage stopped. Young Master Chen, we're here. You gather your thoughts. You turn to Zhao Zuan and say, wife, wait for my cue. Okay, husband, just tell me who to handle. I'll take care of whoever you say. You take a deep breath. You help Zhao Zuyan out of the carriage. You find yourself in a bamboo grove. Pei Yun points deeper into the bamboo, young Master Chen. The master is waiting for you deeper in the grove. Why all this mystery? You lead Zhao Zuyan into the bamboo. You walk dozens of steps. A lakeside pavilion appears ahead. But what really surprises you is, it's not so-called Prince Dingshu in the pavilion. Instead, it's a woman dressed in white. Her face is calm and cold. Her dark hair dances in the wind. Like a fairy from the Moon Palace, Lin Fan. Su Shaowan, you really go hard. Aching, long time no see. You grab Zhao Zujian and are about to leave. Don't you want to know what's really going on? Su Shaowan's voice comes from behind. You pause for a second. If you want to know, come over here. Su Shaowan sits down after you all do. She takes out a pastry. She waves Zhao Zuyan over. As soon as Zhao Zuyan sees the pastry, she can't move. She breaks free and quickly runs over. You watch Zhao Zuyan run off. You say, do you really want food this much? Come back here. If you want to eat, I'll buy you some. Zhao Zuyan squats by the little table and starts eating the pastry in big bites. She totally ignores you. You stand outside the pavilion, glaring at Su Shaowan. You say coldly, if you've got something to say, spit it out. Su Shaowan props up her chin. Her eyes gentle. You're still just the same. Haven't changed a bit. You were annoyed before, but now you go silent. You're still holding on to that grudge, huh? Su Shaowan gives a light laugh. Don't you want to ask how I've been all these years? Fine. How have you been? You ask sarcastically. About the same, really. Su Shaowan looks off at the bamboo. Her eyes are complicated. The palace walls are nothing but a prison. Let's not talk about this anymore. But look at you, still broke as ever. So you came today just to mock me? Your tone goes cold. You think I'm mocking you? I'm just stating the facts. Her words stab deep in your chest. And twist the knife, too. Your hands clench on your knees. Your fist cracks. You want to flip the table over. You point at her, Su Xiaowan. You still don't get me. But all of this was just wishful thinking. Husband, eat. Just then, Zhao Zuyan suddenly grabs a pastry and holds it to your mouth. Her eyes look silly. But right now she's totally serious. Your heart softens. You look at her with gentle eyes. Go ahead and eat. So what if I'm broke? I still have a wife now. Maybe she's a bit slow, but she's pure of heart. Isn't this good enough?
Eat.
Zhao Zuyan insists on feeding you the pastry. You have no choice but to eat it. Su Shaoan glances at the affectionate scene and suddenly feels annoyed. She slams her teacup down. Her tone goes cold. Chun-Ching, do you know? If it weren't for me today, you'd already be dead. You suddenly feel relieved. You pull Zhao Zuyan closer. Princess, just say what you want. If not, I'm leaving. I promised my wife I'd take her out for something tasty. Princess Su Shaoan takes a deep breath. You didn't use to call me that. King, when did we get so distant? So what should I call you? You act confused. Shaoan or madam. You're out of line. Su Shaoan is filled with sudden anger. And mostly just hurt. You show no emotion. You give her a cold look. A long time passes. Su Shaoan takes a deep breath. She pulls a book out and tosses it on the table. Is this yours? Journey to the West. At the sight of it, your pupils narrow. You snap your head up to look at her. So it was you rummaging through my house, not Boss Chai? Is that even your house? Su Shaoan sneers, digging at you with her words again. Then she says, there's a line in here. Every dog has his day. Next year it's my family's turn. Someone's already sent this book to the emperor. It's now labeled a banned book. Pretty soon, the court will send someone to arrest you. And this gives certain people hope. If they get the author and blame someone else, they get promoted. Get it? You're stunned for a second. Then you go silent. Su Shaoan goes on. This Chai guy you mentioned, he's backed by Zhao Chunwei. And Chunwei works for the second prince. So Boss Chai's real goal is to get Journey to the West from you the moment you take the book. And go to that house once you come out. Officers will be waiting for you. Boss Sun is the one nabbing you. But nobody expected you to take a risk and actually pull it off. So, you sneer at her. Why are you telling me all this? Whose side are you on? Or are you telling me your husband, Prince Dingshu, takes sides? Don't tell me. You're a princess and can order the whole prince's guard. Su Shaoan freezes for a second. She gives you a complicated look. King, you're not dumb. You never were. If you join the prince's side to help us. Enough. You snap angrily. Go to the prince's estate and watch you and Dingshu playing husband and wife. It's fine if you look down on me, but don't insult me. You glare at her coldly. There's nothing left to talk about. Whatever your goal is, just say it. Seeing how mad you are, Su Shaoan bites her lip. Aki, you know that's not what I mean. That's enough. It doesn't matter what you meant anymore. Just talk business. Aki. What if I say I'm not here for business? Would you believe that I just wanted to see you? Have you been doing okay these past 2 years? He sneers at her. Do you even believe that yourself? I do, Su Shaoan answers seriously. My husband is a prince. For him, staying out of sides is the best side. But he knows I've always cared about you. He doesn't want me unhappy. And he admires your abilities. So that's why he let me come. I know you don't believe me, but it's all right. He put away that Journey to the West book. Don't talk about Journey to the West anymore. I'll find someone to take your place. No one will ever find you. If you need money, you can come to me. He didn't finish his sentence. You grabbed Zhao Zuan and turned to leave. Mom, you just walked a few steps. Then saw Pei Yun with a little girl, about 2 years old, running past you. She jumped into Su Shaoan's arms. You paused for a second. Then you chuckled softly. Without looking back, you left. Su Shaoan looked up at your departing figure and let out a deep sigh. Then she lovingly picked up the little girl and said, Why are you here? Mom, Dad was asking when. You'll come back, after we left the bamboo forest. You randomly picked a direction. and just started walking aimlessly. Your brows were knitted, looking pretty troubled. You didn't even know what you were thinking. Compared to you, Zhao Zuyan seemed much happier. He carried a book in one hand and a wooden stick in the other. Sword opens the gates of heaven. One sword breaks all spells. Hey, you crazy thief! Where are you running? He was swinging his stick, jumping up and down. The two of you kept walking, one after another. No idea how long you walked. Suddenly you shouted out, honey. Come here for a sec. Just then, Zhao Zuyan stopped chasing a bee and suddenly braked. She turned her head to look at you, confused. Let me take you for some tasty food. Wanna go? You asked, smiling. When she heard about food, Zhao Zuyan's eyes lit up. She didn't care about the bee she was chasing, flying everywhere. She tossed her stick away and sprinted over to you. Dragging you, she ran inside. Couldn't wait to eat. Take it easy, slow down. You weren't nearly as strong as her. After running a bit, you were out of breath. Then, Zhao Zuyan picked you up and ran. Put me down. Let me down. I can walk on my own. You struggled. But Zhao Zuyan ignored you. Just kept running straight into town. You were about to enter the city. You didn't want to be embarrassed. So you yelled, do you even know where to eat? Zhao Zuyan suddenly froze, like hitting the pause button. She stopped. You quickly struggled down from her shoulder. Where to eat? Zhao Zuyan looked at you, excited. You rubbed your chest and said, a bit annoyed, the moment you heard food, you're not stupid anymore, huh? You almost tossed me to death. Food. Zhao Zuyan tugged your sleeve, teary-eyed. Seeing her like that, your head started to ache. You hurriedly said, don't cry like a kid all the time. Come on, I'll take you to get something tasty. Zhao Zuyan instantly broke into a big smile. She tried to pick you up again right away. That really startled you. You quickly said, stop, don't do anything crazy. If you mess around, I'll tell our dad when we get back. Zhao Zuyan's face instantly fell. She quietly followed you, watching your every step. She looked really unhappy. Seeing her upset, you actually felt happy. Juiji Lu is right here. You brought Zhao Zuyan along. You came to a place called Juiji Lu. This is the best restaurant in Kangju. The food might not be number one, but the drinks are definitely top-notch. They're just really pricey. Even the cheapest wine costs 1 tael per pot. You never could afford it before, but now you want a drink, and you want the best. Plus, you're loaded now. So here you are. How many in your party? As soon as you step in, the waiter greets you right away. We'd like a quiet spot for 2. Sure, this way, please. Juiji Lu has 4 floors. The higher you go, the fancier it gets. Of course, it gets pricier too. The waiter seats you by the window on the 2nd floor. Sir, what would you like to drink? Anything you'd like to eat. Can you recommend something for us? You slipped the waiter a little silver. He glanced at the silent Zhao Zuyan. Figured you wanted to get her drunk, and instantly understood. So he said, I'd recommend Spring Rain after for the wine. It's smooth and goes down easy, but be warned, it packs a punch. I guarantee you'll get tipsy after just 1 glass. He didn't say that last part out loud though. He was looking out for you. After all, he got a tip. Okay, 2 pots of Spring Rain after then. And bring us something to eat. Is there anything you have in mind? We have pastries, savory dishes that go great with drinks, and also some lighter meals. You glanced at Zhao Zuyan, then replied, bring us your best pastries, and something spicy to eat too. Something with meat, please. All right, got it, said the waiter. Then he hesitated and said, we have a rule here. You pay first, then you eat. You nodded, that's fine. So, how much is it? 1 moment please, sir. The waiter quickly did the math with his abacus and said, that'll be 35 taels in total. No problem. You generously put 35 taels on the table. You only have about 60 left total. So half is gone just like that. It stings a bit, but you don't regret it. You'll never get rich by being cheap. Soon, all your food and drinks arrive. Without a word, you start chugging. Su Shaoan really got to you today. You just want to drink till you forget. Spring Rain after is just as smooth as the waiter said. At first, it's like drinking water, but after a while, you feel a fire burning inside. It slowly spreads, making you lose track of reality. You only get through half a pot before it's too much. You stop, but Zhao Zuyan is kind of scary. She drinks a whole pot by herself, not fazed at all. Her eyes just get brighter as she drinks. She even finishes your half pot. Once you're both fed and drunk, it's already evening. Let's go, honey. Time to go home. You stagger to your feet, ready to leave. Zhao Zuyan sits eating pastries on a stool, looks over at you, and after hesitating a moment, suddenly stuffs all the pastries in her mouth, and with cheeks puffed out comes over to you. She carries you on her back downstairs. Wow, this guy is letting a woman carry him. As you head down the stairs, a group is coming up from below. One of them says curiously, "Your head is spinning," so you just lay on Zhao Zuyan and ignore them. But as you pass by, you catch a familiar scent from that man. But you can't remember where you know it from, so you just glance at him with your hazy, drunken eyes. He's actually pretty tall, with a plain face, but there's an old man beside him. He's only as tall as a kid, wearing black cloth shoes, walks without making a sound. His triangle-shaped eyes make him look sly. The old guy glances at you too, then says to the group he's just a drunk. Don't cause trouble. If you mess up the boss's business, you're in for it. Where did Grandpa Sun go? Haven't seen him all day. How should I know? Let's just go upstairs. You can't hear the rest. They're already gone. And you don't really care. Hey, honey, listen. From now on, I'm gonna make money. Lots of money, you mumble, lying on Zhao Zuyan's back. Full of ambition, you say you may not be too bright. But you won't regret staying with me. I swear you'll eat and drink well from now on. I'm gonna find the best doctor to help you. You're so pretty, but kinda silly. It's a real shame. You're talking a mile a minute. And Zhao Zuyan listens closely, asking once in a while, will there be better pastries in the future? And fish too? You pat her head. And promise, you'll have pastries every day. And fish too. But by then, you can't help crying. You don't want to cry, but you can't hold back the tears. You feel a bit lost. 2 years ago, you said the same thing. But 2 years later, you're still poor. You feel a bit spaced out. You never left Kangju all these years, because deep down you had hope. Maybe they'd come back one day. Maybe they got bullied at home, and would come looking for you. But that never happened. From the moment you saw that little girl, you knew you're the only one stuck in the past these 2 years. They already moved on and have a happy life. Suddenly, Zhao Zian hands you something. What's that? You lift your head a little and see from a distance. It's a pastry. Zhao Zian says with a silly smile, if you eat something sweet, you won't cry. I'm not crying. You pop the pastry in your mouth. Let's go, hurry up. I want to go home and sleep. Hearing the word sleep, Zhao Zuan suddenly lights up and takes off running with you still on her back. She rushes all the way, and you're soon at the gate. Just as you get there, old Chin's heading out. He spots you too, and freezes for a second, then laughs. Well, newlyweds moving in, huh? Why is she carrying you? You say nothing, just hang on to Zhao Zuyan's back, giving him a shy look, making old Chin's hair stand on end. Old Chin walked in, holding a lantern. He pointed at your back and cursed it at you, saying you were asking for trouble. Disgusting old man, your grandpa. Zhao Zuan carried you into the room and set you down. Then she turned around and closed the door. Why are you closing the door? You, lying on the bed, sobering up, asked in confusion. Zhao Zuan jogged over and squatted at the side of the bed. She rested her chin in her hands, staring at you. What's wrong with you? You had a gut feeling something was off. You couldn't help but scoot back a little. But the bed's only so big. Just how far can you go? At this point, Zhao Zuan gave a sly grin and called you my husband. Wedding night? Wait, wedding night. Hold on. Wait. Stop tearing my clothes. Don't come any closer. Crazy woman, don't bite me. Who has a night like this? The next day, the sun was high in the sky. You came out of the room holding your waist and leaning on the wall. You found the courtyard packed with people. Everyone was looking at you in a weird way. Old Chin was lying on his chair, smirking mischievously at you. Auntie Lee kept peeking inside the house. Her husband stood behind her, giving you a big thumbs up. Look at you. What a commotion last night. Young folks really have all that energy. As for Chen King from the East Room, he was outside the door, wordlessly brewing medicine, acting like he had no idea what happened last night. But his daughter Xiaoyu was sitting by the threshold watching. She drew a whoosh line across her face with her finger. What are you all doing? Doing what? You blushed immediately. Then you braced yourself and said, it's just regular stuff between a man and a woman. Yeah, it's normal between a man and a woman. Old Chin snickered and said, but whose voice was screaming no like a dying pig last night? Take a break. Exactly, Auntie Lee chimed in. If you can do it, you can. If not, then not. Why'd you yell for a break and then get all flustered? You blushed deeper and said, I'm done talking to you guys. After saying that, you headed out to go buy breakfast. When you finished eating and came back with a meat bun, the courtyard crowd had already left. Only Old Chin remained, lying on his lounge chair like always. Oh, you're back. Old Chin teased. Let me give you some advice. Go buy some medicine at the pharmacy. Give your body a boost. No more pig squealing tonight, I promise. You ignored him, walking right past. But after a few steps, you suddenly backed up again, stared at Old Chin intensely. Being stared at made Old Chin nervous. What do you want? Old Chin squirmed and asked. I was just making a joke. You're not gonna beat me up, are you? Old Chin, has anyone ever told you? You have a really weird smell on you. Smell? Old Chin was taken aback. He raised his hand and sniffed. No, I don't smell like sweat. It's not sweat. You said meaningfully. It's a special earthy smell. Old Chin is just a night watchman. Why would he smell like earth? Really? Old Chin responded awkwardly. Maybe you smelled it wrong. Yeah, you probably got it wrong. He yawned and said, all right. Old man isn't gonna talk to you anymore. I'm going to nap. Then he closed his eyes and stopped paying attention to you. You didn't say anything else. Took your bun and went inside. Inside, Zhao Ziyang was wrapped in a thin shirt, her shoulders partly exposed, squatting on the bed, flipping through a comic book, letting out silly giggles now and then. You handed her the bun and said, you're exposed. Hurry and put on your clothes. Zhao Ziyang pulled her shirt tighter, then started eating the bun. The whole time, her eyes never left the comic book. You still didn't see what's so interesting about it. Back then, your drawings were a mess. You'd think of drawing this, then think of drawing that. But since she liked it, you didn't say much. After helping her get dressed, you told her to keep reading. No messing around. Got it? Zhao Ziyang looked up at you and nodded seriously. You patted her head, grabbed something from the bed and headed out. Old Chin was still snoring away in the yard. You carried a stool over and sat next to him. After a moment, you said, Old Chin, got a money-making opportunity. You in or not? What kind of chance to get rich? Old Chin asked without opening his eyes. A job. You took out a roll of parchment and said, I got a big job. Wanna join me? Kid, you got a death wish? Don't bring me in. Old Chin shot up from his lounge chair and started to walk away. Old man's honest. You really not even gonna take a look. You tossed the parchment you got from Grandpa's son onto the lounge chair. Old Chin glanced at it instinctively. After just one look, he froze, quickly grabbed the parchment to study it closely. After a long while, he looked at you with a serious face and asked, where'd you get this map? None of your business where I got it. You replied calmly. Just tell me if you want in or not. Old Chin held the map, expression changing constantly. After a while, he sat back down in the lounge chair and handed the map back to you. Asked, tell me first, how do you know I'm a grave digger? You gotta have a reason if you're guessing. Old Chin said calmly. Old man here. Thought I was well hidden. I don't get how you figured it out. The smell. Last night, walking home, I brushed past a group of people. I caught this familiar smell. At the time, I just felt like I knew it, but couldn't place it right away. When I got home, I smelled it again on you, Mr. Chin, and knew you were in the same business as them, but that doesn't prove anything. You shook the parchment in your hand, sighed. This map originally belonged to folks related to that group, so I just made a wild guess. Didn't expect to be right. After hearing this, Old Chin went quiet for a long time, then said, that's not all you know, is it? Of course not. You said, Mr. Chin, you gamble every day. but never worry about money. Hard to believe a night watch makes that kind of cash. Old Chin was silent for a bit, then sighed. Didn't expect that to be the hole in my story. Well, since that's how it is, I'll just say it straight. I did do that kind of work in the past, but now I'm old. Just digging small graves, just eating and waiting for death. Yours is a big tomb. If nobody got here first, we could find lots of gold and jewels. Just a little mirror. You want to do this for a living, or just want a quick score? I just want a quick score. Old Chin didn't answer you right away. He lay back in his chair, slowly rocking. You weren't in a hurry either, just patiently waiting. Nobody knows how long passed. Old Chin finally opened his eyes.
He said, since you just want a quick score.
We can work together this one time, but whatever we find, I want 70%. You agreed without even thinking. You agreed just like that. Old Chin looked at you, surprised. He said, you didn't even think about it? What's there to think about? You said, as you mentioned, it's just a quick score. How much money we get, that's all up to fate. Old Chin eyed you cautiously. He said, you're not planning to double-cross me, are you? You looked at him, feeling wronged, said Chin. How long have we lived in this yard? Almost 2 years, right? You know who I am? You know everything about me. Old Chin said softly. I know everything about you, but not your true character. Damn you. You snapped. You want to know my true character. Well, I'm not gonna tell you. Old Chin gave you a sly look, then got up and patted his butt. He said seriously, the day after tomorrow. I'll come find you that night. That 70% isn't just for me. I gotta share it with others. With something as big as you've got. Just the two of us can't handle it. Besides, you said yourself, there's another group involved. Trying to snatch things isn't easy. Saying that, Old Chin walked out. 2 days flew by. That evening, you just finished dinner. Old Chin showed up. Ching, pack up your stuff. Come with me. You didn't ask much. You already had your things packed. Mostly food and some tools for protection. All packed in one bag. Let Zhao Zuyan carry it. This quick score means a lot to you. With this money, you'll have the funds to start out. It'll lay the foundation for your future. You don't want to stay poor forever. He's coming too. Old Chin looked at Zhao Zuyan carrying the bag. Frowned. Fine, he's coming too. You assured Old Chin. Rest easy, I'll keep an eye on him. He won't hold you back. Old Chin was silent for a moment, then said nothing more. He turned and went out. You looked at Zhao Zuyan, reminded him, remember what I told you before. Don't go too far from me. Keep me safe. Got it? Zhao Zuyan nodded. Seeing he understood, you said nothing more. You hurried after them. In the yard, Chen Qingyi was squatting by the door making medicine. He watched you all leaving with bags. Gave you a neutral look, then continued making medicine. Old Chin took you to the outer city, to a secluded courtyard near the wall. He knocked on the gate, rhythmically. The gate opened quickly. A skinny guy opened it, skinny like a monkey. All skin and bones. Chin, you're here. Yeah, Old Chin replied. Jiang Daden, are the others here? They're all here, just waiting for you. Jiang Daden stepped aside. Chin led you two inside. Once Jiang Daden closed the gate, you couldn't help but ask, your name's Jiang Daden? What, you know me? Jiang Daden eyed you, on guard. Nope. You just thought his name doesn't match his look. Skinny like a monkey. Called Jiang Daden. That's pretty weird. You're judging by appearance. Jiang Daden glared at you. All right, keep it down. He scolded. And opened the door. No lights inside. By moonlight. You saw 3 people sitting inside. 2 men and 1 woman. One guy was pretty strong. Muscular and tough. Obviously a tough guy. The other man had fancy clothes. Looked cultured. Definitely a rich guy. The woman was seductive. Like a snake beauty. Lying sideways on the bed. Resting her head on her hand. Her clothes were loose. Showing fair skin. Made you imagine stuff. Chin, the group greeted Old Chin respectfully. Showing that Old Chin had a lot of authority with them. They're all your people. No need to be formal. Old Chin said, let me introduce. This is the little brother Chun I mentioned. Old Chin said he gave the location of this tomb. He just wants 1 quick score. I've told you all this. Then, Old Chin introduced the others. The tough guy is Jiang Shaodan. The guy in fancy clothes is Zhang Hunden. Zhang Daden, Zhang Shaodan. Zhang Hunden, they're three brothers. Daden and Shaodan are second and third. They're the ones scouting and digging. Zhang Hunden acts like a businessman, handles selling stuff. As for the woman, old Qin didn't say much. You only know her name is Mai Shui. Handles support, gets the supplies, and helps get everyone out safely if things go bad. Safety guarantee. Old Qin is the boss.
He manages everything.
The team is organized. Super pro. You and Zhao Zhujian. Just assist Daden and Shaodan. I've introduced everyone. Old Qin said, looking at you. Zhao Jing, please show the map to everyone. Let the brothers get the picture. No problem. You took out the animal skin and handed it over. You noticed. Everyone's eyes lit up right away. They all studied the map by moonlight. No doubt. This is an ancient king's tomb. Maishui smiled, Old Qin. We're gonna hit it big this time. How do you know this is a king's tomb? Hearing your question, Maishui answered flirtatiously, little brother. Hard to explain. Anyway, you're just here for this job. Just know if you do this right, you'll never worry about money again. Zhang Hunden looked at Old Qin, said Qin. With your memory, you just need to look at the map once to remember it. Zhang Hunden looked at Old Qin, said Qin. With your memory, you just need to look at the map once to remember it. Have you checked it out these past few days? Old Qin somehow pulled out a pipe. He held it between his lips, but he didn't light it. He said worriedly that the spot for digging down wasn't great. Right below the hill is the garrison camp in Kangju. Getting caught isn't such a big deal. But we might end up giving everything away. You guys know it too. Those soldiers are broke too. If they catch us, they'll probably just kill us and dig it up themselves. Old Qin's words made the room tense. After a long pause, Zhang Shaodan said, Qin, now you're just trying to scare us. We all know the game. Haven't we seen it all before? Nothing new to us. What's there to be scared of? Once we're in, who knows who'll make it out? Exactly, Zhang Daden chimed in. As long as we're careful, they might not even notice us. Sister Shi, you think so too, right? Mish grinned seductively. Well, you guys are the ones going down there. Not me. What's there to be afraid of? Old Qin turned to you and said, Look, Zhao, we've been neighbors for 2 years. I won't screw you over. That's how things are. If you think it's too risky, you can walk away now. But you'll only get 10% afterward, as payment for your tip. If you stay in, you'll get 30%. You tucked your hands in your sleeves, glanced at Zhao Zuian behind you, and said, Qin, I'm done being poor. So let's do it. Qin put away his pipe. Since we've decided, it's time to go. The tomb is on a hill just outside the city. We'll get there around midnight. Plenty of time to work through the night. Someone asked, why are we leaving the city now? The city gate's already closed. Hey, see, you don't know about this. Zhang Hunden moved the table, lifting the wooden plank on the floor. Under it was a dark hole. At the entrance, every snake has its path. Every rat has its road. Of course, we diggers have a way out of the city. Zhang Hunden gave you a grin, then jumped right down. The others followed. After crawling out the tunnel, you realized the exit was in a wooded area outside the city. Once you got out, you noticed someone was missing. Where's Mish? He's not coming, Old Qin replied. He's in charge of covering our tracks in the city. If we're gone too long, he'll also bring us food. Since Old Qin explained it, you didn't press it further. Everyone followed Old Qin out of the woods. Man Mountain isn't tall at all. It's only a bit over 100 meters high. When you reached the foot of the mountain, you noticed someone else was missing. You looked around and realized it was the eldest Zhang brother. Zhang Hunden was gone. Why are we missing another one? You asked. From behind you, Zhang Daden, carrying a bundle, said, My big brother went to the nearby village. Why is he going there? To pick up some mountain goods, Zhang Daden added, and he'll rent us a place to stay. We'll be digging at night and sleeping in the day. Plus, if we get found out, we can just pretend we're merchants buying goods. If you bluff your way through, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble. So that's how it is. I actually thought tomb raiding was just digging anywhere you want. Just grab the stuff and leave. It's not that simple. Old Qin, walking ahead, said, If it was as easy as you think, there wouldn't be any tombs left in the world. It takes time to find a tomb. Bringing out everything from inside takes time. It all takes time. As they talked, the group reached the top of the mountain. The top is split into east and west sides. Old Chin stood up there, pointing east and saying, "That's where we came up from. Down west is the military camp. These guys farm when it's peaceful and fight during wars. So avoid the west. Don't go over there unless you have to. Also, don't make a fire if you can help it. At night, a fire is easy to spot." Alright, that's all.
Take a break, guys.
I'll go check things out. After warning everyone, Old Chin wandered around. You have no idea what he's looking for. But you didn't ask. You rest with Zhao Zuan under a pine tree. You don't really know why. But usually Zhao Zuan acts crazy. Tonight she's unusually quiet, which makes things easier for you. You two rest for a while. Jiang Daiden comes over with a flatbread in hand. He hands you the flatbread. Hey bro, what did you do before? You take the flatbread, but don't eat it. Not much. You just brush him off. Just lazy, really. Then you pretend to nap. Seeing you don't feel like talking, Jiang Daiden doesn't say anything else. He gets up and leaves. When he finds something, everyone gathers. It's unclear how long passes. Old Chin's voice comes from afar. "What's up, Chin?" Hearing that call, you hurry over. Bring Zhao Zhujian and go right away. When you arrive, the Daiden brothers are already there, standing on a big boulder. Old Chin is down by the boulder's base. Seeing you coming, Old Chin points at the ground below him and says, "The tomb is right under here. Dig down from here." Hearing this, Daiden and Xiaodan get moving fast. Open their packs right away. Pull out a strange-looking shovel and a bunch of bamboo tubes. The tubes connect to the shovel instantly. You recognize it immediately. That's a Luyang shovel. Daiden grabs it, starts digging where Old Chin says. For now, you can't really help. So you go to Old Chin and ask, "Chin, how do you know to dig here?" It's complicated. Old Chin points at the big rock and says, "Let's make it simple. Look at this rock. It's granite, but the whole mountain is yellow soil. They don't have rocks like this here. This rock's from somewhere else. Plus, it's used as tomb roof material. And your parchment has clues. So I am sure the tomb's underneath." You nod like you get it. Don't ask more. After all, you never planned to really do this for a living. Just want some startup money. Knowing too much would be a hassle. Roughly weighted as long as burning 2 incense sticks. Daiden pulls out the Luyang shovel, smells the dirt on it. "Chin, I've hit the compacted soil layer, but it's pretty deep. Had to dig 30 meters to reach it. The tomb must be at least 50 meters deep." "Alright, start digging. We can't finish tonight. We'll keep digging tomorrow night." With Old Chin's order, Xiaodan grabs a shovel and starts digging. "Let me help dig." Seeing him work alone and you just watching, you feel a bit embarrassed. Pick up a shovel to help. But Daiden stops you, Chen. "Just watch from the side. If you help, my little brother can't use his skills. 2 are faster than 1, right?" You look confused, wondering how having more people can be a problem. Daiden grins and proudly says, "My second brother's famous in the underworld, called Whirlwind Mouse." Whirlwind Mouse. You look baffled. That name sounds so wild. "Show them, bro." You look doubtful. Daiden tosses another shovel to Xiaodan. Xiaodan doesn't say a word. Plants both shovels in the ground. He spits into his hands first, then grabs both shovels and starts digging. What happens next? How to describe it? You almost feel like you're in a cartoon, like Jerry digging in Tom and Jerry. Both arms spinning super fast. The shovels fly up and down. Earth piles up quickly. Incredible speed. After just 1 incense stick, he did the work of 5 people and dug a hole almost 4 meters deep. You're stunned watching. You squat down and ask Daiden, "Can he keep digging like that non-stop?" "No way." Daiden replies, 30 meters. If he keeps it up, he'd be totally exhausted. 1 more incense stick max. He'll need a break. Sure enough, after another incense stick, Xiaodan climbs out, drenched in sweat, lies on the edge, gasping for air. "Man, I'm beat." Daiden quickly hands him a water bag. You look into the hole. They've already dug 6 or 7 meters deep. "Chun, help me out." Daiden tosses you a rope. "What do you need?" You ask, holding the rope. "I'm heading back down to dig more." Daiden says, "You haul up the dirt." "Alright, no problem." You two work together for a while. Right then, Zhao Zuyan comes over, tugs at your shirt. You turn and look at her. What's up? Aching, I'm so sleepy. Zhao Zuyan rubs her eyes. Looking pitiful, says she's bored. I want to sleep. You glance around. Point at the big rock. Sleep next to the rock for a bit. Zhao Zuyan's eyes light up right away. Seeing that look, you instantly know what's up. She's really bored, but not actually tired. This girl probably wants to sneak off. So you quickly warn, just sleep. No running off. If you sneak away, go play while I look away. I'll tell Dad, and he'll punish you. Hearing that, Zhao Zuan's happiness fades. Her eyes dim. Got it, aching. She slumps at the rock. Bored, starts counting the stars. Xiaodan, who was resting on the side, saw this. He said to Brother Chang with a hint of envy, Your wife seems pretty nice. You shot him a guarded look right away. Like a parent protecting their kid, you stepped between them. Don't get me wrong, Xiaodan quickly explained. I don't have any thoughts about your wife. I'm just a little jealous of you. She might be a bit clueless, but it's rare to find someone so obedient. I'm thinking about finding a silly wife myself, someone to pass on the family line, who can also join us in this work. And she wouldn't be afraid of betrayal either. Get lost. Old Chin kicked Xiaodan. He scolded. Don't go mess up some poor girl's life. If you're done resting, get back to work. It's almost dawn. Let's dig a few more meters. Gather up our things. We'll continue tomorrow night. After that kick, Xiaodan just kept quiet. He rubbed the back of his head and obediently jumped into the pit to help dig. But this time, he didn't use that over-the-top whirlwind digging method. As the sky started to lighten, the Zhang brothers climbed out. By now, the tunnel was over 10 meters deep. Bury the hole up. Old Chin told the Zhang brothers to cover up the tunnel. They scattered any extra dirt into the bush nearby. The disguise was perfect. Once that was done, everyone started down the mountain. At the foot of the mountain, they saw Zhang the bastard, who'd disappeared last night, already waiting at the road. He had a few baskets with him. When he saw you and the group, he took out a few sets of clothes from the baskets. Since we were underground last night, change your clothes and shoes. Wash your hair too. That way no one catches the details. The Zhang brothers didn't say a word, grabbed the clothes and started changing nearby. Zhang the bastard handed you a set too. You're covered in dirt as well. Go change. Right, you didn't think anything was off. These people are careful about everything. Seriously, they're professionals to the core. It's best to follow their lead. After everyone changed, Zhang the bastard got some water so the Zhang brothers could wash their hair. Once their hair was dry, the group grabbed their stuff and followed behind him. They headed to a nearby village. As they walked, Zhang the bastard said, From now on, we're just vendors here to buy mountain goods. If anyone brings something to sell, we buy all of it. I'll front the money for now. After we dig up our haul and sell it, just pay me back my part. Brother Chan, you're cool with that, right? No problem, you agreed right away. Big Brother Chan, your plan is fair. This way everyone gets their share. Mang Village is a small village down the mountain. There are only about 20 or 30 families. It's pretty peaceful out here. Zhang the bastard had already booked the rooms. It was a little old one-story place, tucked away behind the village. Not the nicest, Brother Chan, but it'll do. Zhang the bastard opened the door, explaining to lower our chances of being spotted. We all have to squeeze into one room. But don't worry. I fixed up a bed in the far end of the room for you and your wife, so you can have some privacy. We won't bother you. You took a look inside. The room was pretty small. There were some quilts spread out on the floor. As for worrying about them causing trouble, you weren't worried at all. You knew deep down, if Xiao Zuan ever snapped, no one in this room would be getting out on their feet. But to put their minds at ease, you smiled and said, Thanks, Brother Zhang. Appreciate it. You made some small talk, then lay down with Zhao Zuyan. After staying up all night, you were out of energy. Zhao Zuyan lay at the very edge, while you slept next to her. Old Chin lay not far from you. The Zhang brothers, just to avoid suspicion, picked spots right by the door. The group took some food from their packs and had a quick bite, then crashed right away. Especially the Zhang brothers, who started snoring up a storm almost immediately. Zhao Zuyan slept soundly, curled up in your arms, sucking her thumb as she drifted off. You, on the other hand, tossed and turned, and just couldn't get to sleep. Can't sleep. You turned your head and saw old Chin puffing on a pipe, awake by the wall. Uncle Chin, you're still up too. Old Chin grabbed some tobacco leaves, put them into his pipe, and said, I'm old, so I don't sleep well. Anyway, can't sleep, so you gave up on sleeping too. Sat up and pulled some rice paper from your bag. Sighed, Uncle Chin, can I get some tobacco? Old Chin looked a little surprised. Why do you carry paper around? For the bathroom, you replied helplessly. Using bamboo chips hurts like hell. If you ask me what's the hardest thing since coming here, number one is wiping with bamboo chips. It's seriously painful. How painful? You won't get it till you try it. Wasteful. Using rice paper for that? Old Chin laughed, cursing you. But he still handed you some tobacco. You rolled a smoke, put it in your mouth, and the two of you sat there in the dim light, sharing a smoke. Uncle Chin, what do you think we'll dig up this time? Kind of looking forward to it. Treasure, probably. What else could it be? Uncle Chin thought for a bit, then said, artifacts from the last dynasty aren't worth much. When you go down, just pick out gems and jewelry. But if you're really lucky, you might find some old martial arts manuals. Those can sell for a lot too. You could even copy one for yourself. There are manuals down there. When you heard that, you got pumped, your eyes lighting up. Really? Of course, Old Chin said. There's a saying, teach your apprentice everything, and you'll starve as the master. So people always keep something to themselves. Passing down knowledge is tricky. Today you keep a little to yourself. Tomorrow I do. And over time it gets lost. But sometimes people take those secrets to the grave. That's why in our line of work, we often dig up lost martial arts manuals. Some we keep, some we sell. Xiaodan's whirlwind shovel method came from a tomb. But only he learned it. His brothers Dayton and Bastard didn't have the talent for it. You glanced at Xiaodan, who was snoring away, and couldn't help but be impressed. You took a puff of smoke and asked, Uncle Chin, what can you do? Old Chin gave you a look, put out his pipe mysteriously, and said, sleep. After he finished talking, he actually lay down, seeing that he wouldn't talk more. You didn't push him either. You glanced at the half-burned cigarette left. You put out the cigarette and lay back down. Maybe the smoke relaxed you. This time, after lying down, you quickly drifted off to sleep. When you woke up again, it was already dusk. The Zhang brothers and Qin were already up. You could hear them talking outside. You turned over instinctively at the sound. A bad feeling hit you. Zhao Zian was gone. You immediately got anxious. You weren't worried she'd get hurt, but more worried she might have an episode and go on a rampage in the village. You panicked and rushed out of the room. You saw Old Chin and the others squatting in an open space, eating. When they spotted you, the super skinny one, Zhang Dayton, quickly waved, Chun, over here. Come have some fish soup. Fresh fish soup. You couldn't care less about soup right now. Finding that girl was way more important. Have you seen my wife? Yeah. Old Chin calmly pointed to a creek in the distance. She's catching fish over there. These fish are all hers. Fish. You were confused. You headed where he pointed. Sure enough, you saw Zhao Zuyan squatting in the creek, happily scooping up fish. Sunset glow wrapped her in golden light. It looked like a beautiful painting. You stared, a little stunned for a moment. This scene was way too misleading. Just then, Zhao Zuyan caught a big black fish. When she saw you, she held up the fish proudly, grinning at you. She was showing off. Seeing her act so childlike and innocent, you couldn't help but smile. You finally relaxed. Be careful. You shouted, come up here right now. She wasn't thrilled, but still hugged the fish and walked up. What kind of fish is that? As she got closer, you noticed something odd about the fish. Looking closer, you were shocked to see. These fish all had sharp teeth. Are these piranhas? Chin, are these piranhas? You took one to Old Chin and asked. He glanced at it and said flatly, not that strange. There's all kinds of stuff underground. Eat quickly. Once we're done, we'll head out. We should break through by midnight. Hearing that, you didn't ask any more. You tossed the fierce-looking piranha aside and called Zhao Zuyan over to eat. Soon everyone had eaten their fill. You packed your bags and got ready to go. But just as you reached the village entrance, a team of people approached. These guys wore leather armor and carried long knives. They definitely looked tough. They're Kangyu City soldiers. Old Chin spotted it right away. He quickly pulled you and the others aside. He whispered, "Let them pass first." They were all about 17 or 18. The leader looked cocky, with a red cloth tied on his arm. Things were fine at first, but as they passed by, no one spoke. For some reason, Zhao Zuyan kept staring at the red cloth on the leader's arm. The leader noticed her staring and suddenly stopped walking. He looked at your group suspiciously.
He said, "Who are you guys?"
"What are you doing in the village?" Old Chin reacted instantly and came up with a smile. "Soldiers, sir. We're here collecting mountain goods." Mountain goods? The leader glanced around, his hand slowly resting on his blade. He asked with a hard tone, "Where's your stuff?" The tension instantly spiked. Zhao Zuan might not be all there, but she senses danger fast. She noticed the hostility and almost lashed out. Luckily, you reacted fast enough and grabbed her tightly. At the same time, you said to the leader, "Sir, our goods are in the village. We're just heading back to the city for supplies." The leader seemed suspicious. His eyes scanned you all carefully. Then a guy behind him stepped up. He whispered, "When I came back this morning, I did hear Lord Zhao mention it. Some folks came to collect mountain goods. These must be them." The leader, named Zhao Yue, still hesitated a bit. "Fifth bro, if you don't believe me, you can trust Lord Zhao, right?" Hearing that, Zhao Wu finally waved his hand, still looking annoyed. "All right, it's fine. You guys go." "Thanks, sir." Old Chin shot you a look and rushed everyone to leave. You all took off like the wind. Zhao Wu's group kept heading into the village. When they got to the entrance, Zhao Wu, leading the group, suddenly stopped. He looked sharply back in your direction. "What's wrong, fifth bro?" Zhao Wu frowned. "Wait, this isn't right." They're heading back, but the city gates are closed this late. There's something off about those people. Should we chase them? Forget it, Sha Wu considered for a moment, then shook his head. "We're not government officers. Even if they're troublemakers, as long as they don't mess with us, it's none of our business." "Phew, scared me half to death. Once you were far away." Zhang Daiden patted his chest. "Still nervous. I really thought we'd have to fight." "All right, it's over." Old Chin urged. "Let's move faster. The sooner we finish, the sooner we can relax." When you all got back to the tunnel, it was totally dark out. Zhang Daiden tossed Zhang Shaodan 2 shovels. "Start digging." That dig went on until almost 11 p.m.
Clang!
Suddenly you heard metal hit something hard. From below, Zhang Shaodan shouted excitedly, "Bro, Chin, we've reached the tomb ceiling. But it looks like granite down here." Hearing that, Old Chin yelled down, "Check if it's granite bricks or a giant slab." "It's one big piece. A solid slab." Hearing it's one whole piece, Old Chin turned and asked Zhang Daiden, "Daiden, can you open it?" "I'll give it a try." Zhang Daiden pulled some stuff out of his bag. "A jar, a chisel, and a hammer." "What's that?" You asked, curious. Zhang Daiden grinned and shook the jar a bit. "Let me show you." He opened the jar for you to see inside. It was packed with grainy black powder. "You made this yourself?" You asked, looking a bit surprised. "I made it myself." Zhang Dan dared to brag proudly. "But the recipe was from an old Taoist priest. I added some other stuff in it. It's way stronger than others' gunpowder." "Guess what it is?" You shake your head, can't guess. But you know deep down. Most likely, he added sugar. But since Zhang Dan wants to show off, you don't want to embarrass him in front of everyone. Would hurt his feelings. "All right, get down there." Old Chin, standing nearby, saw him stalling.
He impatiently kicked him.
Zhang Dan gave an awkward smile. He slid down the rope into the tunnel. Didn't wait long. You saw Zhang Shadong climb up, scrambling. Boom! Just as he crawled out. The moment, a deep explosion echoed from the tunnel. Then, a blast of air mixed with dust rushed out. After the blast, Zhang Shaodan yelled from the tunnel entrance, "Second brother, are you okay?" "I'm fine." Zhang Dan coughed from below the tunnel. "I blew it open. You guys come down." Zhang Shaodan cheered up instantly, turned to look at Old Chin, saw Old Chin nod.
He quickly slid down the rope again.
After he went down, Old Chin turned to you. You guys go too. Aren't you going down? You ask surprised. Old Chin pulled out his pipe, glanced at you, then said, Go. Aren't you afraid someone will double-cross? If the Jiang brothers come up first, seal the entrance. You'd get buried alive. You and your friend just wait to die. Or if you come up first, then you could bury the Jiang brothers instead. All of you are gathered by me. I gotta look out for you guys. Alright, go. You stand there, not moving. You feel a bit guilty. Old Chin laughed, annoyed. What now? Are you worried about me? I'd bury all of you myself. I'm already half in the grave. Past the age of risking everything for money. If you don't dare to go down, just wait here. Seeing him say that, you grit your teeth, called to Zhao Zuyan behind you. Let's go. We'll go down too. Then both of you slid down the tunnel. The tunnel wasn't straight down, but curved downward. When you got to the bottom, you saw a thick slab of granite. But now, the center of the granite had already been blasted open, just big enough for one person. You stood at the edge, shining your light below. From the top to the bottom of the tomb, there's about 3 or 4 meters difference. The Zhang brothers were already down there. They lit fire sticks, stood below, calling up to you, Brother Chun. Come down. Zhang Dan sounded a bit uneasy.
He said,
The tomb passage is flooded, about half a meter deep. Just jump down. You won't get hurt. Didn't dare to jump outright. Turn to Zhao Zuyan behind you. Hold on to me. Lower me down slowly. Let go once I'm low enough. Zhao Zuyan's face went pale. She nodded obediently. You gripped the granite edge, lowering yourself slowly. As Zhao Zuyan held your hands, as your feet neared the water, the Zhang brothers supported your legs. Honey, you can let go now. Zhao Zuyan released her grip, and you landed in the passage. Whether it was the dark energy or the freezing water, a bone-chilling cold hit you the moment you landed, making you shiver uncontrollably. Bang! Just then, without even a second thought, Zhao Zuyan jumped right down. Water splashed everywhere, startling you and the brothers. You rushed over to support her, asking, Are you okay? I'm fine. Zhao Zuyan was deathly pale, clutching your hand. Aching, I'm scared. Scared? You couldn't believe your ears. She was usually such a badass. Yet here she was, scared. What are you afraid of? Ghosts. You were speechless. Don't be scared, sister-in-law. Dayton laughed. There's no ghosts. If there were, grave robbers like us would be dead. He handed you a fire striker, sighing, Brother Chun, don't say we don't look after you. The tomb is flooded, and many items are ruined. We'll each take a side room. If you find anything valuable, don't hide it too obviously. And we'll look the other way. The chamber was about 800 square feet. On the surface, it would be a luxury villa. You led her toward the left room. Maybe it was just nerves. But walking through the icy water, you felt like at any second, something would jump out and grab your ankle. Your nerves were shot. Zhao Zian was even worse. Usually this woman is fearless, but now she's a scared mouse. She clung to your arm, terrified you'd leave her. Seeing her so petrified, you felt a bit mischievous. You stopped suddenly, staring intently at the water, and stammered, Wife, there's something in the water. You just wanted to prank her, but after you spoke, there was no reaction at all. By the fire striker's light, you saw her standing frozen, staring into the distance. The horror in her eyes was new. It was pure absolute terror. Veins bulged near her eyes, and she shook uncontrollably. Honey, you're pranking me, right? I'm telling you, I'm actually very brave. As you were talking, you looked where she was staring. Then the word scare got stuck in your throat. A red figure in the distance was crawling on the water, slowly swimming toward you. Worse yet, many black shadows were spreading across the water. The silent chamber became deathly still. Gulp, a second passed. Or maybe a lifetime. You swallowed hard, grabbed Zhao Zurian, and yelled, Move! Run! Ghosts, she finally snapped, letting out a piercing scream, and bolted back the way you came. You went from pulling her to being dragged by her. She was incredibly fast. Your feet slipped. You fell into the water and were dragged along the surface. Honey, asterisk gurgle asterisk, slow, Asterisk, gurgle, asterisk, slow down. Luckily, she didn't drag you far. Before bumping into the brothers. What's wrong? What's wrong? What happened? With more people around, Zhao Zuyan finally stopped, lips trembling. Ghost. A ghost! Scrambling up from the water in a mess. You pointed behind you. There's a ghost back there. Dayton looked puzzled and completely dismissive. Look at you guys. Ghosts don't exist. Stay here. I'll go check it out. Dayton held his striker and walked toward the spot. You Zhao Zujan. And Shadong waited there, watching Dayton fade away. You felt worried. Will he be okay? What could happen? Shadong didn't care. You just saw things. Must have been something else. If you weren't so scared, I'd go help my brother. Just then, Dayton ran back, looking totally panicked. Zhao, Xiaodan, there's something. Something? Confident just now. Xiaodan froze. Are you kidding me? We've robbed so many graves. Where would a ghost come from? There really is something. Dayton was white as a sheet. Xiaodan looked suspicious. You're just messing with me. We'd be dead 10 times over. You looked at Xiaodan, amazed. Who knew? There was a materialist here. Even your materialistic view had wavered for a second. You guys stay here. I'll go see. Seeing your pale faces, he scoffed. I'll see what this is. He took a few steps, then stopped, and turned around. Well, keep up. I thought you weren't scared. You shot back. Damn, I wasn't. Xiaodan cursed. But now you guys are creeping me out. Follow me, you, and Zhao Zuan shared a look. You go first. We'll be right behind you. Cowards. Xiaodan cursed and marched forward. The three of you followed slowly. Halfway there, his striker suddenly went out. The sudden darkness made Zhao Zuan scream, scaring everyone. Damn it, stop screaming. Xiaodan shouted from ahead. It just burned out, that's all. You almost gave me a heart attack. Light returned as he lit a new one, soon on the water ahead. That red figure showed up again. Right at that moment, you see Jiang Dayton give you a she gesture. Then he sneaks up behind Jiang Shaodan. Jiang Shaodan is holding a fire stick, getting closer to the red figure. It's so dark. The light's too weak. Can't tell what it is. But it's definitely someone floating on the water. Trying to see clearly, Jiang Shaodan gets a bit closer. Just at this critical moment, Jiang Dayton is already right behind him. He suddenly crouches down, grabs Jiang Shaodan's ankle, yells out Wei. Jiang Shaodan was already tense. Being yelled at, he nearly dies from fright. Wei raises his fist, swings it backwards, hits Jiang Dayton right on the forehead. Damn, you really hit me. Jiang Dayton quickly steps back after getting punched. Jiang Shaodan finally realizes what happened. Still scared, he curses, bastard. Are you trying to scare me to death? Jiang Shaodan, didn't you say you weren't scared? Jiang Dayton laughs and points at him. Jiang Shaodan rolls his eyes and flips him off. Then he bends down and checks the red figure. Curses, damn it. A paper doll scared the hell out of me. Hearing it's a paper doll, the joking Jiang Dayton, his face suddenly gets serious. He goes over and picks up the paper doll. Sure enough, it's a red paper doll. No wonder it's floating. Something's off. Jiang Dayton looks around cautiously. The paper doll is intact. Looks brand new. Doesn't seem like it was buried with the tomb. There are others here. When you hear this, Jiang Shaodan gets alert too. In tombs, people are the most dangerous, not the dead. The Zhang brothers look around with their fire sticks. You turn to comfort Zhao Zujun. It's fine, you saw it too. It's a paper doll. Do you see anyone else around here? Zhao Zuan glances at the paper doll, scans the area, shakes her head. Jiang, look at the brothers searching around. The fire stick's too dim. Should we use torches instead? But Jiang Dayton quickly stops you. There are toxins in the tomb. Fire sticks are fine. But torches, you could easily get poisoned and die. Mudadu, you're stunned for a second. Then you get it. He's talking about lack of oxygen. Fire sticks use less oxygen. The tomb is ventilated only by that one tunnel. If you light torches, they'll burn up the oxygen. Everyone could suffocate here. That's street wisdom. Damn, there's a tunnel here. Jiang Shaodan's voice comes from nearby. You all rush over. You see above the tomb's chamber, there's a tunnel up top, just like the one you came through. Water keeps pouring out below. Damn, seeing this tunnel. Jiang Daiden can't help but curse. Someone's been here first. He looks at you. Chun, that map of yours, you got it from someone else, right? You think the people who came first are that group? Probably. You reply, sounding unsure. We might have wasted our effort. Jiang Shaodan gives a bitter smile. Thieves never leave empty. That group went down first. They must have taken everything. Should we head back up now? You ask if you're going up or not. Jiang Daiden grits his teeth. We're already down here. If we leave empty-handed, that's real bad luck. Let's look around. Maybe they left something behind.
Hearing this,
You start searching too. You were aiming for the left ear chamber at first. So soon, the four of you found spot one. You freeze as you enter the left ear chamber. It's packed with gold, silver, and gems. Some soaked in water. Under the fire sticks glow. Everything shines. Wow, we're rich. Jiang Shaodan's eyes widen. Shouldn't be like this. Jiang Daiden scratches his head. That group came down first. And this is the closest spot. No way they'd miss it. Jiang Shaodan grabs his sack from his belt. These are ours now? Wait a second. You pull him back. Aren't you worried about poison here? Jiang Shaodan points at the water below. Everything's sitting in water? If it was poisoned, we'd already be dead. You think about it. Makes sense. But you add, what if it's slow poison? Even better. If we're poisoned, we'll just find help after. Just get an antidote outside. Then he ignores you. Starts stuffing the sack full. Soon Jiang Daiden joins in. You stop hesitating. Tell Zhao Zuyan to help too. Pack gems and gold into sacks. It's pretty shocking. This guy must have been important. Jiang Daiden packs items and sighs. So many burial objects in just one ear chamber. Wonder what kind of prince he was. Who cares what prince? If he's making us rich, he's a good prince. Jiang Shaodan replies. You stay silent. The Zhang brothers grab everything for their sacks. You pick selectively. Only take jewels. Gold and silver are heavy and take up space. Jewels are small, easier to sell. Zhao Zuyan helps hold the fire stick. She sometimes also helps pick out gems. Suddenly, you feel something square in the water. It's a jade seal. The moment you see the words on the seal, your heart instantly jumps. The words say, long life from heaven. May you live and prosper. One corner is gold wrapped around jade. But in another corner, there's a tiny Jia character engraved. It's a fake jade seal. You glance up. The Zhang brothers are still going crazy, stuffing their sacks, not paying attention here. Yu Yan Zhao Zuyan over. Quickly slip the fake seal into her clothes. Even if it's fake, it looks pretty real. Makes a good souvenir. You search a bit more. Don't find any better stuff. When you're pretty much packed, say, let's take these things out first. All right, Jiang Daiden nods. Can't carry everything at once. Take them up first. Then come back down. Everyone hauls stuff to the tunnel entrance. Qin, can you hear us? Jiang Daiden shouts. You hear him? Lower the rope. We got a bunch of good stuff. Soon the rope comes down. You tie everything up. Qin pulled you up. By this point, you already wanted to leave? This stuff would fetch a good amount. But the Zhang brothers clearly wanted to empty the place out. You felt awkward leaving first, so you made a few more trips. Finally, the left ear chamber was cleaned out. Then you headed to the right ear chamber. But sadly, it was just rusty armor and weapons. Not worth anything, which felt strange. Just as you were about to suggest heading up, Jiang Daiden frowned and said, We've been circling a while. Just sticking to the left and right ear chambers. We haven't seen the main tomb. That's where the real value is. But by now, you wanted out of this creepy place ASAP. So you said, if we can't find it, let's just leave. What we brought up is worth plenty already. The Zhang brothers glanced at you. Noticing you wanted to go, Jiang Daiden hesitated for a second. Brother Chun, if you want to go up, just go ahead. Go with Qin to handle the stuff upstairs. So we don't get caught. Me and Shaodan will search a bit more down here. See if we can find the main tomb. You're just gonna let me go up alone? You test them half-jokingly. Aren't you afraid I'll run off with the loot? Jiang Shaodan didn't even look up, not worried. We trust Qin since he brought you. It means you're trustworthy. He patted your shoulder, then tugged the rope. Old Chin immediately started pulling you up. Don't be fooled by his hunched back. He's surprisingly strong. In no time, he pulled you and Zhao Zuyan out. This old guy hides his strength well. Up top, seeing those 7 or 8 sacks of treasure, you couldn't help but sigh. Chin, never thought your line of work paid so much. If you did this a few more times, sky's the limit. Make money? Old Chin chuckled lightly. Do you know? How many people go down here and never return? And you think royal tombs are common. These opportunities are rare. Lots of eyes watching you. You sure you'll live to spend the money? You're lucky this time. Don't let luck fool you, kid. Old Chin gave you a heartfelt pat on the shoulder, while the Zhang brothers were still below. Let's hurry up and sort this stuff, and give it to Zhang Da to take away later. I still feel something's off. It's all going way too smoothly. I'm worried we're caught in someone else's plan. Let's sell the goods and leave, quick. Old Chin didn't argue. He felt the unease too. Those guys raided the tomb empty-handed. That's the weirdest part. How do we sort these? You ask gold, silver, jade, and jewels separately. No idea why. But Zha and Old Chin are pros. Must be a reason. While sorting things, Old Chin lit some incense, held it over his head, and waved it rhythmically. Once everything was sorted, Zhao Zuyan suddenly stared alertly. Into the darkness, don't worry, it's our people. Old Chin reassured. A few men in mountain folk clothes walked out of the dark, bundled up tight. One handed Old Chin half a cake. Old Chin pointed at the sacks. They didn't say a word, picked up the stuff and left. Not a word exchanged. And that's how everything got hauled away. You felt uneasy. You wanted to keep some for New Year's. Old Chin glanced at you. You know, that's not what I meant. It's a lot of money. What if they just take it? Don't worry, really. Old Chin said. The leader is a stand-up guy. He handles transport. Zhang Da sells it later. If anything goes wrong, he's fully responsible. Otherwise, why would a logistics guy get a 20% cut? I trust him or I wouldn't use him. Fully reliable. Since I said all that, you couldn't say more. Chin the. Suddenly, Zhang Shaodan shouted frantically from inside. Shaodan, what's wrong? Chin the shouted back from the cave entrance. Chin the, pull me up. Trouble. Your heart jumped. You hurried over. What happened? Just pull me up first. Zhang Shaodan was pulled up soon, face pale. Chin the, brother Chan. My second brother is missing. Dayton disappeared. You looked at him, stunned. Yeah, gone. Zhang Shaodan spoke fast. After you came up, he and I split up to find the main tomb. Agreed to meet after one incense stick. But he never showed. I searched all over and couldn't find him. Maybe you missed something. You asked? Oh, maybe he's messing with us? No way, Zhang Shaodan said firmly. My brother never jokes about serious stuff. He knows disappearing could be deadly. He wouldn't do that. You and Old Chin exchanged a look. Old Chin frowned. You stay up here. I'll go down with him to look. You didn't refuse. That place below is cold and dark. You really didn't want to go down again. You and Zhao Zuyan waited above for a long time. The rope started moving. You hurriedly pulled it up. Old Chin climbed back up. Didn't say a word. Just pulled out his pipe and started smoking. He looked grim. You tried to ask several times, but didn't know how? After a long pause, Old Chin finally rasped out. Zhang Dayton really is missing. Shaodan is still searching below. Stay here. I'm heading down the mountain. If I'm not back by daylight, go down and get Shaodan out. Then seal the tunnel. Okay, you nodded. Old Chin left. You sat by the entrance, wide-eyed with Zhao Zuyan. Time passed. The sky began to lighten. Your bad feeling only got stronger. You looked at Zhao Zuyan. You said, did we get played? The Zhang brothers might have bailed from another tunnel. And Old Chin ditched us too, leaving us here waiting like fools. Zhao Zuyan looked at you, eyes innocent and clueless. The more you thought, the madder you got. No way, I gotta check this out. You told her, stay up here. Wait for me to call you. Then pull me up. My life's in your hands now. Okay, Zhao Zuyan nodded seriously. You tied the rope around yourself and slid down the tunnel. Soon you were back in the tomb. Pitch black all around. So quiet it's suffocating. At that moment, your heart just sank. Shaodan, Zhang Shaodan. Where are you? The sudden sound behind you really startled you. You quickly turn around, holding your torch. You see Jiang Shaodan standing in the darkness. He just stares at you, not moving. You breathe a sigh of relief, patting your chest. Why didn't you light a fire? I ran out of torches, Jiang Shaodan says quietly. Why did you come down? Wasn't Mingna supposed to keep watch up there? You don't think we took off with the loot, do you? Of course not. You reply, feeling a bit awkward. I just came down to check on you. Jiang Shaodan doesn't call you out. He just sounds a bit sad. Go back up and keep watch. I'll keep looking. Just as you two are talking, you hear movement above. You quickly ask Boss Chin. Is that you? Yeah. Everyone, come down. Boss Chin responds. Then you see people sliding down on ropes from the tunnel one after another. You don't recognize most of the 5 or 6 people, but you spot a familiar face in the crowd. Jiang Hunden and Boss Chin come down last. He looks at you and says, I told your wife to stand guard up there. That should be fine, right? No problem, Boss Chin. You look at the new faces. They were brought by Jiang's oldest brother. Boss Chin says calmly. Jiang Hunden, here to help search. First looks at his little brother, then gives those new arrivals a respectful nod. Thanks for your hard work, everyone. No need for that, Boss Jiang. We're just doing our job for the money. Someone replies. Then they quickly spread out with their torches. Only then does Jiang Hunden turn to Jiang Shaodan
and ask,
tell me exactly what happened when your second brother disappeared. I was over in the second room on the right. Jiang Shaodan gestures and says, second bro said, the main tomb chamber might be hiding something. He wanted to check out the left side as well, but he never came back. Jiang Hunden frowns. Take me over there. Jiang Shaodan leads everyone toward the left chamber. You think for a second and follow along. First, you figure the Jiang brothers seem like good guys, so you want to help them look. And also, you're just curious about the whole thing. Never forget your instinct to be a bystander. When you get to the left chamber, Jiang Hunden immediately notices a paper figure floating on the water. He picks it up, looks toward the tunnel used by the other group, turns and asks Jiang Shaodan, did you climb up and check it out? Yeah, I tried. That tunnel is his. But you can't get up. Looks like the last group caved it in when they left. Jiang Hunden frowns, silent. He circles the side chamber again. Still nothing. Just then, old Chin, who's been silent, suddenly looks at Jiang Shaodan. Shaodan, did you do what I asked earlier? Did you do it or not? Jiang Shaodan quickly points to a spot on the tomb wall. Boss Chin, you told me to mark the water's edge. I made marks in several places. You look where he points. There's a notch where the water meets the wall. To make it clearer, Jiang Shaodan even smeared something on it. Old Chin checks a few of the notches, looks at you and asks, Chun, what do you think? From when I left to when I got back. How long did it take in total? Almost 4 hours. You answered right away. Because you kept worrying the old guy would run off. So you kept perfect track of time. That was about 4 hours. Old Chin pointed at the water, analyzing. The water here is coming from that corner, but the water level never rises. That means there's another layer in the tomb. The water goes into that layer and drains elsewhere, so the water level stays the same. While talking, he glanced at the red paper figure. The flow is slow, so you can't see it, but the paper figure is light, so it floats along. That's why, at first, you all thought the paper figure was a ghost? For so long, the paper figure's always been right here, right? Yeah. You nodded. Since we came down. It's been there the whole time. That's it. Old Chin squinted his eyes. The extra layer must be nearby. The water disappears here. Just too slow. We can't notice it. After that, he told Jiang Hunden to find someone. Have them block the opening where the water comes out. All right, I'll get them on it. Soon, the outflow was sealed with wood and mud. But it'll take a while for all the water to drain. That won't happen quickly. Old Chin let out a heavy sigh. It's dawn. Everyone, head up. We'll come back tonight. By then, the water should be gone. After working all night, you're already exhausted, so you have no objections. Jiang Shaodan wanted to stay, but Jiang Hunden yelled at him, so he had to follow everyone reluctantly. On the way down the mountain, Old Chin suddenly spoke. Hunden, get ready for what might happen. There's an extra layer, and Shaodan disappeared suddenly. Most likely, a trapdoor was triggered. Stepped on the trap. You know what that means? Trapdoor type traps. Look completely normal. Step on it. The stone flips. People just vanish in an instant. Falling into the big tomb is common. Sometimes you just turn around, and your partner's gone. A flash of sadness crossed Jang Hunden's eyes. When you mentioned a hidden layer, I was already prepared. But the three of us brothers grew up orphans. I want to see him alive, as long as the swordmaster's there. Bro, it's all my fault, Zhang Shaodan said painfully. If back then, my second brother and I had gone up with Chun, none of this would have happened. Zhang Hunden hugged his little brother and comforted him. It's not your fault. Then he looked at Chun. I've already found someone to handle our goods. When the money arrives, Chinda will give it to you. You'll get your full cut. Next is a personal matter between us brothers. If you don't want to get dragged in, you can back out now. Of course, if you want to keep searching for the main chamber, you can stay, but you might get into some trouble. Up to you. You glanced at Old Chin. Old Chin nodded. Yeah, there'll be trouble. It's up to you. You thought it over fast. This trouble they mentioned means another group set up the trap.
If it's near the paper figure.
We all stepped on it just now and nothing happened. That means someone is controlling the trap. If you stay, there will be a fight. But after a moment, you suddenly smiled. I told you already. I'm tired of being broke. If there's still good stuff left, why would I bail now? You decided to stay, not only for the money. That other group is tied to Sun. The wiping out loose ends is your rule. Plus, the Jiang brothers are loyal and capable. That kind of bond will be useful in the future. Back at Mang village to rest. The mood was heavy. Jiang Hunden disappeared as soon as he got back. He showed up again when you all returned by the tomb at night. His eyes were bloodshot. He looked exhausted. He clearly went down by himself during the day. Did you find anything? Old Chin asked. Not until the water below is gone. Back to the tomb again. That night the tomb was lit with torches. The cold dampness was pushed back. Muck was cleared away, revealing a huge granite stone slab, covered with lots of holes. You didn't care about what kind of stone it was. Your eyes were drawn to the patterns on it. A human figure sitting weirdly. It looked familiar.
A few days ago, when Zhao Zuyan crazed was after you.
The jade pendant you found happened to show this same pose, except the slab image didn't have the meridian diagrams. You paused. Old Chin noticed.
He asked curiously.
You shook your head. You kept the secret to yourself. Just thought it was weird. That's a vajra from Tibetan Buddhism. It's meant to suppress evil spirits. Old Chin didn't ask further. He lit his pipe, stuck a fire stick into a hole in the slab. The light faded out quickly. Old Chin told Zhang Shaodan, break this granite slab open. If you want to save your second brother, you've got to go deeper. To save his brother, Zhang Shaodan gave it all he had. He swung the big hammer with all his might. You stepped outside the passage. You asked, puzzled, Chin, why are we backing out? It's empty underneath. If there's a chain reaction, we'd all fall in. What Old Chin said made you shiver. It took a full 2 hours. Finally, the slab was broken through. With a few muffled bangs, the stone shattered and fell, revealing a dark, deep pit. You went in too. Zhang Shaodan was dripping with sweat. You went to the edge and took a look. Just a glance made your head spin. Your legs went weak, nearly fell in. Luckily, Zhao Zuyan reacted fast. She grabbed you. Careful. Old Chin reminded. There might be wooden poison down there. Everyone should go up first. We'll come back down at midnight. That wooden poison is just carbon dioxide. You didn't dare dawdle either. Followed everyone back up. Waiting was tough. You were so tired. You cuddled up with Zhao Zuyan to sleep. Hey, just sleeping. Don't overthink it. After who knows how long, Jiang Shaodan woke you up. Chun, time to go. You nudged Zhao Zuyan awake. He rubbed his eyes. I want to sleep. Hang in there. I'll buy you lots of snacks when this is over. As soon as food was mentioned, Zhao Zuyan perked up instantly. She grabbed you and hurried off. You stared in shock. This crazy lady only acts smart when there's food. That's when her brain actually works. Back at the deep pit, Zhang Hunden lowered a torch on a rope. It was over 30 meters deep. That's like a 6-story drop. A fall from there would be fatal. Your heart was pounding. But Zhang Shaodan didn't care at all. He grabbed the rope. No safety measures. He slid straight down
He waved a torch at the bottom.
and shouted for his big brother. Chin, there's wind. There's an underground river, but no poison.
Hearing this,
Everyone relaxed. Old Chin took a deep breath. Let's all go down. When it's your turn, you glanced at Zhao Zuyan and asked shamelessly, "Can you carry me down?" She squatted down sweetly. You accept her help without guilt. Landing, the water roared. It's a natural cave. A raging underground river was right beside. Careful, Old Chin handed you. Drop the torch in the river and you're dead. You pulled Zhao Zuyan away from the river. Searched along the bank. Walked dozens of meters. The water got calmer. Clear to the bottom. A few black fish swimming. Fish! Fish! Zhao Zuyan jumped in excitedly. Hey, you didn't stop him. The water reached his waist. Come out, careful, something's in there. You yelled anxiously from shore. Aching, fish. He grabbed a big black fish and showed off. The fish opened its mouth, exposing sharp teeth. Piranha! Just like what we saw in Mang Village. Throw it, it'll bite. Before you finished, Zhao Zuang cried out in pain. She angrily squeezed the fish to death. The smell of blood spread fast. Dozens of dark shadows darted over like arrows. Get out, the fish are coming. Your face turned pale. Zhao Zuan panicked. Aching, help me. You gritted your teeth, jumped into the river, and dragged him toward shore. Algae made the bottom slippery. You slipped and fell. A rock cut your finger. It hurt bad, but you had no time to worry. You dragged him up, stumbling and crawling. As soon as you got on shore, you flicked his forehead, told you to get out. This is not a playground. Zhao Zian held his head, looking pitiful. Aching, my bad? Seeing him like that, you couldn't stay mad. Simply wrapped your finger. Come over here, something happened. A shout came from the distance. You all joined up, found a smooth rock wall. There was a hole in the middle, blood on the ground, and a set of footprints going inside. The Zhang brothers rushed in like madmen. You followed quick, walked about 20 meters, then hit a dead end. An iron cast door blocking the way. Completely sealed the passage. Old Chen knocked on the metal. Couldn't push or break it open. Blow it up. Zhang Shaodan's eyes were red. No good, who knows how thick it is. Old Chen closed his eyes in despair. Give up. If our second brother made it, there'd be traces left. He must have been brought in. Old Chen looked at you as you said this. The map was brought by someone else. Can you tell me who it was? You didn't hide anything. Explain the origin of the map. Of course you skipped the tea stuff. And your thing with Su Xiaowan. Old Chen listened, looking serious. That Uncle Sun was probably Sun the Fast Blade. The dwarf was Swordback Yuan Li San. The two are close friends. You killed Sun the Fast Blade, Swordback Yuan will seek revenge. But someone is covering for you. He won't find you right away. Old Chen turned to the Zhang brothers. So second brother's death. Isn't Chen's fault, Master Chen? Zhang Hunden retorted angrily. Since we tomb raided together, it was fate. You can't blame Brother Chan. Don't look down on us Zhang brothers. Brother Chan, we won't blame you. Master Chen, let's go. Don't look anymore. It was second brother's fate. After saying this, he seemed totally drained. You went back up. It was dawn. Zhang Hunden led his men away. Walked off, looking lonely. Only you three left on the hill. Master Sheng, heading back to town? You asked? Yeah, on the way. Old Chen suddenly asked, Little Chan, about what I said earlier. You mad at me? What? You played dumb about blaming you for Zhang brothers. Hey, I should thank you.
he smiled if you hadn't said it.
If they'd fixated, it'd be worse. Now that it's out, everyone's cool. Old Chen patted your shoulder, glad you get it. Let's split up ahead. I'm not going back. Old Chen's eyes turned cold. I'm leaving for a while. Need backup? Second brother can't die for nothing. Got to get revenge. Back in half a month at best. If the Zhang brothers go back down and need help, give them a hand. Old Chen left, leaving in style, but made you worried. If the old guy just took off, who are you going to settle accounts with? But you've seen this before, so you can't assume the worst. Or doubt his motives. All you could do was go home anxious. The yard was still the same. Sister Cheng was there making medicine as always. As for the landlord Aunt Lee, you just camped with her. Up so early. making noises and not embarrassed at all. Sister Cheng making medicine so early? You greeted her with a smile. Chen Qingyi ignored you. You were used to it. She was never very friendly. You went to your own room, lay on your bed, and instantly fell deep asleep. You slept so long. Ah-ching, ah-ching. Half awake, you felt someone calling you and shaking you, but your eyelids felt like lead. You just couldn't open them. It felt terrible. Once you opened your eyes, it was like a huge hand squeezed your heart. You could barely breathe. Let it be. You felt better with your eyes shut. But your head was full of images of worms crawling, chubby white toothy-like silkworms, or you. You knew it was a dream, but you were terrified. Right as you were about to lose it, a sharp pain under your nose, and your eyes finally popped open. It was blurry, but someone was sitting there, looking down at you. Without thinking, you hugged their waist and rested your head there, snuggled into that soft embrace. Smells so good, real wife material. You smell amazing today. Smack. A hard slap lands right on your face. You snap awake instantly. This isn't your wife, Xiao Zuyan. This is clearly Qingji. Cheng Qingyi's face is so dark it's almost dripping. She glares at you. How long are you gonna keep hugging her? Scared, you quickly let go of Qing. Qingji, why is it you? Cheng Qingyi stands up with a cold face. She turns and looks at the sobbing Zhao Zuyan. She drops a line. He's fine now. Then she leaves without looking back. That's when you finally notice. The whole room is buzzing with people. It's not just Cheng Qingyi here. The landlord couple is here too, watching the show. Especially the landlord. His face is all scrunched up like his features are about to rearrange. You, kid, not bad. With your own sister. After staying pure for 2 years, she finally got hugged by you. Come on, tell me, how'd it feel? Hey, before he finishes talking. Auntie Lee grabs his ear. She sneers. Jealous much? Jealous? Not jealous at all. Chun Ching, I have to criticize you. Aunt Lean turns her fire on you. You passed out with a fever. Your dumb wife was crying, screaming you were dead. If your sister hadn't stabbed you with some needles, you might still be unconscious. Yet you still tried to take advantage. That's just wrong. Why do you talk so much? Auntie Lee drags her husband out. She curses at the Chun guy as she goes. Let me tell you this.
If you're sick, go see a doctor.
Don't die in my house. Bad luck. You're left sitting there, totally confused. But your mind is quick. Soon you figure out what happened. You look at Zhao Zuyan, who's still crying. You force a smile. Hey, stop crying. See? I'm fine, right? I probably just caught a cold these past days. Picked up some germs. A little medicine and I'll be okay. Aching, Zhao Zuyan suddenly throws herself into your arms. Choking, she says, I'm hungry. You freeze. You thought this silly wife was gonna say something really moving. But nope, she just says she's hungry. You hold it in for a while, then finally sigh and say, okay. Alright, let go of me. I'll take you to get something to eat. Sound good? Okay. Zhao Zuan's tears instantly turn to smiles. You watch her change moods faster than flipping a page. You helplessly reach to rub your forehead. But as soon as your fingers touch your head, a sharp pain hits. It almost makes you cry out loud. You take a closer look. You're freaking out now. That finger you hurt in the cave is swollen like a carrot. It's huge and scary. What's wrong with my hand? You panic and ask Zhao Zuyan. Zhao Zuyan stares back at you, lost. I don't know. No point asking her. You struggle to go ask Qingji. After all, she woke you up. But as soon as you stand up, you get dizzy and your legs go weak. You drop right back onto the bed. After a while, your breathing finally evens out. Wife, come here. You call her over. Something's not right. Carry me outside. Zhao Zuyan obediently carries you up. Qingji, Qingji. You yell out in the yard. Cheng Qingyi comes out with a cold face. Her eyes slice across you like knives. You figure if you weren't sick right now, she'd definitely come over and slap you again. You don't care about pride anymore. You hold up your carrot finger and ask, Sis, what's up with my hand? I have no idea. Cheng Qingyi's voice is ice cold. I just thought she looked so pitiful. So I woke you up, that's all. If you're sick, go see a doctor yourself. With that, she turns to leave. Before she goes inside, she throws you a final line. By the way, you've been sleeping for a whole day and night. Wife, I was out that long. You quietly ask, lying on Zhao Zuyang's back. You slept a really, really long time. Zhao Zuyang pouts pitifully. I'm so hungry. You take a deep breath. Weakly, you say, carry me to get some money. I'll get you something good to eat. With the cash, Xiao Zuyan carries you out the door. This whole morning's been a nightmare for you. You buy her some buns, stuff her mouth, and have her take you all over every clinic in Kangju. The answers you get make you furious. Sorry, my skills aren't enough for this hand. You'd better find someone better. No choice, try the next one. I'll write you some prescriptions. Just take a few courses of medicine. Your hand will be good as new. Total scam. Finally, someone a bit more reliable. Drains some pus and blood. But it's just a quick fix, not a real cure. The noon sun is blazing hot. Feels like it's frying your scalp. Aching, where do we go now? Zhao Zuyan stands in the street, carrying you. She looks around, lost. But your heart just feels cold. Your fingers still all swollen and nasty. This infection's spreading so fast. Back in these times, that's basically a death sentence. Are you really gonna die so pathetically here? Wife, let's go home. You sigh in despair. Babe, aren't we gonna see a doctor? No, let's just go home first. You've decided to head back because you want to take a gamble. Since the wound came from the tomb, I'll use a tomb method to treat it. You remember the stone slab with the Buddhist Vajra on it? And that strange cultivation posture. Vajra demon subduing. External evil is also demon. Maybe that training method could save you. As soon as you get home, you can't wait. You get into that super awkward pose. At first, it's almost unbearable. But as time passes, something amazing happens. Your dizziness fades away. That stabbing pain in your finger eases. It's working. You're thrilled. You don't even know how long you've been at it. Right when you can't take it anymore. A weak warmth rises from your denshin. It flows along the channels shown in that cultivation diagram. After one full round, you're completely drained. You collapse onto the bed, let out a heavy breath. You scramble back up and see Zhao Zuyan sitting across from you, copying your weird pose. You pause for a moment, but don't bother with her. Quickly check your hand, your heart sinks. It's still as swollen as a carrot, but at least it doesn't hurt now. Your head feels clear again. You carefully poke at it. It feels normal. Doesn't hurt or itch, but just looking at it, there's no way it's fine. No one would believe it. Aching, Zhao Zuyan opens her eyes. She looks at you, happy. You gently pat her head. Yep, you're awake again. How long did I sleep this time? It got dark and then light again? I don't know either. Aching, I'm so bored. It's been another whole day and night. You feel a jolt inside. You've never been outside? No, I just learned from you. Is it because you're bored too? Looking at your silly wife, your feelings are all over the place. You can only force a smile and say, your husband is all good now. Let me take you out for food. Zhao Zuyan stares at your swollen finger, totally not believing you. It's fine, you shake that finger. See, doesn't hurt at all. Before you finish, Zhao Zuyan grabs your injured finger. That sudden blast of pain makes you break out in a cold sweat. What are you doing? You grit your teeth and growl. Zhao Zuyan looks all innocent. You said it didn't hurt. You almost spit up blood. I said it doesn't hurt, but that doesn't mean it won't hurt if you squeeze it. Don't do that again, got it? Zhao Zuyan promises out loud, but keeps mumbling to herself. Not hurting and not hurting by squeezing mean different things. Aren't they both painless? What's the difference? You take a deep breath, telling yourself not to argue with fools, or you'll get wrinkles. Just then, a clear female voice comes from outside. Chanjing, Chandi. Are you home? Who? The voice sounds familiar, but you can't remember who it is. Who is it? You shout out. It's me, your aunt. Aunt, my ass. You blurt out a curse. I don't even know who my aunt is. Cussing, you open the door. Then you freeze. It's May, right? Standing at the door? The sexy woman handling logistics in Master Chin's team. Who the hell dares show up causing trouble here? Aunt Lee storms out with a broom, looking fierce. You quickly block Aunt Lee. Lee, calm down. She's my aunt. She's not here to make trouble. Aunt Lee eyes you both suspiciously. Right now you look sickly. You seem totally out of it. Slips a glance at Mish. Red dress wrapped tight. Golden snake embroidery, shoulder half showing. Her whole vibe just screams trouble. Are these two really relatives? You guys seriously relatives? Aunt Lee isn't buying it. Yep, we're related. Mish turns on the drama queen act. She glances at you pitifully. His mom died early. I raised him all by myself, just because I became a concubine. This thankless kid doesn't claim me. I've been looking so hard just to find him. All right, Ann Lee waves her hand. Don't tell me about your family drama. If you're relatives, and not here for trouble, that's fine. Aunt Lee heads back inside. Before she's in, she turns and scolds you. Heartless brat. Man, that was frustrating. There's no way to explain. You glare at Mish, not happy. What are you doing here? Are you sure you want me to say it here? Mish leans against the gate, smirking. All right, come inside then. You know she never comes for nothing. Mish sachets her way in, throwing you a flirty look before she enters. You close the door, expressionless. So, what do you want? Two things. Mish pulls out a stack of silver notes and slaps them on the table. First, I'm here to bring you money. Boss Zhang sold all the goods. A total of 50,000 taels. You get 30%? That's 15,000 here. You pause for a second. Only 50,000? How much did you expect? I thought at least 500,000. 500,000? Mish sneers. Sure, that's possible. But you know what? If you got that much, that would be the day you die. A whole year's army pay in Southwest is only 100,000 taels. If we dared sell for 500,000, they'd wipe us out the very next day. That cold reality shuts you up. You stop talking. After counting the money, you ask what's the second thing. The snake stares into your eyes, inviting you back to the tomb. You want me to go back? To the one in Mangshan? Precisely. The Zhang brothers want you. Why me? You point at yourself. I don't know anything. You should look for fighters. I'm of no help. Meishi points her finger. Not you, Zhao Zuyan.
He can. Your eyes turn wary.
What are you planning? Don't worry, Meishi explains. We just need him to block the Spring Society. In return, whatever we find in the tomb, the Zhang's entire share goes to you. If you sense danger, you can pull out any time. Spring Society. That name again. Meishi gives you a briefing. These people. They're the dirty fixers for court elites. The second prince's clique. Give me a straight answer. Are you in? Meishi asks. You lift your swollen, carrot-like finger. Sister May, listen. I'd love to help, but I'm useless like this. She stares at your hand for 2 seconds. Carrot? You're annoyed. What carrot? This is a finger. Meishi bursts out laughing. Tears are streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. But seeing your finger, I just can't stop laughing. How can a hand look like a carrot? Your face turns dark. Laughed enough? Wiping tears, she hears the finger's story. So you're saying, no doctor in town can fix your carrot hand? You nod blankly. This woman's humor is so weird. I actually know a doctor who should be able to cure you, Meishi says suddenly. But the fee is a bit steep. How much? She holds up one finger. 100 taels? Your eyes widen. That's a total ripoff. 100 taels for a finger? Why not just rob me? No, it's 1,000. Meishi drops the bombshell. I know it's pricey, but if it's not cured, there's no charge. You grit your teeth, looking at this useless finger. Fine. Wait for me outside. I'll be right out. Once she leaves, you quickly grab 2,000 taels, wrap the rest in oil paper, and sew it into Zhao Zuyan's clothes. With this much money, only this strong wife of mine can keep it safe. You head out with Zhao Zuyan. Meishi leads the way. Sister May, can they really fix my hand? You're not tricking me, are you? You're nervous. What do I gain from lying? Meishi rolls her eyes. Soon. You stop at a luxurious pavilion. You look up at the sign and completely freeze. Flower Whisper Pavilion? You turn, shocked. Sister May, this isn't a clinic. Why bring me to a brothel? A brothel can heal people? Who says a brothel can't heal? Meishi rolls her eyes defiantly. Follow me if you want a cure. She walks right in. You stand dazed for a moment, looking at your carrot finger. You grit your teeth and follow. The moment you enter, you only feel one thing: cold. It's totally deserted here. Forget a crowd. There's not even a ghost. It's absolutely pathetic. Only a few elegant girls are in the hall, slumping their chins lazily. Bored, they spin their cups. Sister's back. Someone notices Meishi. They call out half-heartedly. Then, their eyes land on you. Instantly, their eyes light up, like hungry wolves seeing meat. A young master. They swarm you. Want a drink, sir? I have the best wine. Come to my side. Go away. Your wine is terrible. Don't you find it boring? Sir, music and talk are more fun. Sir, you are instantly surrounded by these flirtatious girls. Zhao Zuyang, who was right beside you, is pushed to the outer circle. She angrily shoves them back. What are you doing? A Qing is mine. Meishi looks at the chaos ahead. She yells with a stern face. Stop. That's enough. Anyone else causes trouble. Don't blame me if I sell you off. The scene turns silent instantly. The girls don't dare move, but they still make faces, blaming each other. Look, you made her angry. Why blame me? You ran up first, you hussy. Meishi rubs her temples. She waves them off. Go away. He's not here for fun. He's here for Zhao Song. Hearing it's for the doctor, the girls disperse with sighs. Great, another patient. Might as well call this a clinic. You hear them whispering, but pretend not to. You pull an annoyed Zhao Zuyan along. Sister Mei, what is this? This is a brothel. Why is there no business? You don't get it, she sighs. Most girls here are from the academy. We sell art, not bodies. We won't take that cheap money. With the society's pressure, naturally no one comes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be raiding tombs with Master Qin. Meanwhile, she leads you to a medicinal backyard. In the yard, a woman wrapped up tightly is drying herbs. This is the doctor, she says. Zhao Song. Her family were royal doctors. She can fix your hand. Meishi greets her quickly, then makes an excuse, leaving you and Zhao Zuyan there. She shares a look with Zhao Song. Seeing this, you know exactly what's up. It's clearly a setup. That 1,000 tael fee. Most of it probably goes to Meishi. Zhao Song is obviously in on it. But you don't call them out. If she can fix your hand, the money is worth it. Survival is more important. Hey there. You think as she sits. Before you, how long has it been? A few days? You answer honestly. Is it serious? You reach out to let her see. But she dodges like it's the plague, waving her hands. Don't. Just tell me the symptoms. Swelling and inflammation, with signs of rotting. Source Zhao Song widened his eyes. He looked totally shocked. It got that bad in just a few days. Yeah, why else would I come find you? Zhao Song frowned deeply. His voice turned serious. Man, your syphilis is wild. You froze for a second, then got furious. I'm not infected. Your whole family is infected. Why am I even here? Why am I even here? All clear. You put your carrot-sized swollen finger right in his face. Zhao Song was shocked at first, then gave an awkward smile. People coming to me all have no infection issues. Misunderstanding cleared up. Zhao Song took out a pack of silver needles. He carefully poked your finger to double-check your pain level. The nerves are totally numb. Looks like the doc who treated your pain really knows his stuff. But if you want it gone for good, not gonna be easy. Not gonna be easy. So there is a way. Without a word, you slapped a 100 tael banknote on the table. Just tell me if you can cure it. Seeing the cash, Zhao Song's eyes lit up immediately. No problem, of course I can. From what I can tell, it's not poisoning. It's GU parasite poisoning. You heard of GU from Miao territory. Cut the nonsense. Just cure me. Zhao Song ran into the house. He brought out an ink stick and some lamp wick. He admitted it's a secret method passed in his family. Not sure it will work though. If not, you get your money back. If it works, I keep the 100 taels. Just cure me, that's all. You sounded calm. Following his lead, you squatted down, spread your fingers, pressed them on the ground. Zhao Song ground up the ink, dipped the lamp wick in the ink, traced your hand shape on the floor with it. Then, stuck the wick at the spot matching your swollen finger. Lit it up and let it burn out. That should fix your hand. You stared wide-eyed, feeling totally insulted. You're messing with me, right? Just drawing a circle and burning a wick? That's it? Let's see if my wife buys this. Aching is amazing. Zhao Zujiang stood there, full of admiration. Right when you wanted to roast Zhao Zuyan. Out of the corner of your eye, you noticed your own finger was really deflating before your eyes. What the hell, you were stunned. Half an hour later, the lamp wick was burnt out. Your carrot-thick finger was totally back to normal. Even Zhao Song couldn't believe it himself. He squatted down, pulled out his hairpin, started digging where the wick burned. Pretty quickly.
He dug out a bit of charred black dirt, rice-sized.
And it actually looked just like a tiny scorpion. So lifelike. You could even see the mouth. That must be the Jiu bug that bit you. Zhao Song looked excited. Can you do me a favor? Help me catch one of these bugs. I won't charge you for visits anymore. You're the one who's crazy. You didn't want to stick around this weirdo a second longer. You tossed the 100 taels on the table, grabbed Zhao Zuyan and walked out. Let's go, honey. As soon as you left the clinic, you ran into Mish, who's been waiting. You put on a fake smile and said, "Thanks for everything, May. I'll treat you to a meal sometime." No need for dinner. Mish stuck out a hand and said, "Fine, 1,000 taels." You tried to play the sympathy card, but this woman is heartless. With no other options, you painfully handed over 1,000 taels. Mish took the money, and her mood flipped instantly. She smiled sweetly. "Still, you keep your word, kid. The Zhang brothers are waiting for you in Man Village. Only giving you 3 days. Miss it, and you're out." You grumbled a reply, and left Huayu Pavilion with Zhao Zuyan. Even though you got ripped off, you looked at the 13,000 taels left on you, and cheered up again. Now you can build your own crew, and in these chaotic times, you can protect your silly wife.
Hungry? You asked Yao Zuan.
Come on, let's get some good food. Holding hands, you went straight to Flavor House. That's where you used to tell stories. And it's the perfect spot to start your group. Right as you walked in, waiter Ai hustled over. "What would you like today, sir?" "Chun, bro." Ai used to look down on you. He and Che wanted you dead. He snitched that day. Thought I died, huh? You stared at him with a blank face. Ai forced a smile and denied it, but still blocked your way. "Chun, bro, a new storyteller just started here. No open tables. The boss said no outsiders allowed. Better not make it awkward. Just go." He called you bro, but you could feel the attitude. That sense of superiority was obvious. You couldn't be bothered to argue with him. You just pushed him aside and called out to another waiter, Zhao Lu, "Get me a good table. And call Boss Zhang over. I've got a big business deal." Zhao Lu happily took you upstairs. You didn't order the fanciest dishes to show off, just some homemade food. Sent drinks to a few old friends, except for Ai. Soon Boss Zhang showed up. After some small talk, you got straight to the point. "Boss Zhang, I want to buy this restaurant. Name your price." He froze, looked you up and down for a while. "Not selling," he smiled. You poured him a drink. "Chai is dead. Xia Chun will send a new guy to collect protection soon." Who knows how greedy this new guy will be? No one knows. I know you want to move to the capital. Now's the perfect time to let it go. How about 800 taels? That hit Boss Zhang where it hurt. He paused a moment. Finally gave in. "Deal, 800 taels. I'm not taking anyone with me." "No problem," you raised your glass and downed it. "But I need you to do me a small favor. Fire Ai. I don't want to see her again, deal." Buying Flavor House went super smooth. 800 taels is kinda pricey, but it's real, tangible property. After a good meal, you and Zhao Ziyan left. Ai was still bowing to customers at the door. You didn't even look at her once you got far enough away. Ai spat and called you a broke loser. Shopkeeper Zhang appeared behind him and tossed him some silver coins. "You're fired. Find work elsewhere." Watching the look on her face turn to despair, you had already walked away. On the way home, Zhao Zuyan spotted a kite stall. She wanted to buy the whole lot. With a wave of your hand, you bought every kite there. Seeing her so happy with all those kites, you felt it was worth the money. Back home, the neighbor's kid, Xiao Yu, was in the yard. The two of them soon started playing. After making sure they were safe, You turned and went inside. Closing the door, you moved the bedboards and pulled the box from its hiding spot. The hair caught in the lid was still there. You breathed a sigh of relief. You pulled the jade pendant from your robe, preparing to hide it with the fake seal. The fake seal was too bulky to carry around easily, but it was too important, so it had to be hidden well. In 3 days, you'd head back to the tomb, this time for that massive fortune. But just as you were closing the lid, a chill shot straight up your spine. Danger. Before you could react, a hand clamped over your mouth from behind. Then a cold dagger pressed against your neck. Cold sweat instantly soaked your back. You knew if you moved even an inch, your throat would be slit. MPH, who are you? As you managed a few muffled words, your jaw was dislocated with a snap. The person's move was clean and swift, but they didn't kill you. This gave you a bit of relief. A faint fragrance came from behind, along with a soft touch. A woman? Your mind raced. Zhao Zuan is still outside. This person must have been lurking in the room already. The woman held your neck with one arm, while rummaging through the box with the other. Finally, she picked up the jade pendant. She ignored the more valuable fake seal. She only wanted the pendant. You knew then it was the killer from the tomb. Your eyes darted around, trying to negotiate. Wait, take the money. My wife has more money on her. Thud! Before you could finish, a heavy blow struck your temple. Everything went black, and you lost consciousness. My head hurts. How long has it been? You slowly opened your eyes. A sharp pain radiated from your temple. You reached up to feel it. There was no fresh blood. But looking over, there was blood on the bed. You must have been hurt. But the blood had already dried. Come here quick. Outside, Zuyan and Zhao Yu were still playing. You couldn't have been out too long. You shook your groggy head. Looking around, the box of books was still there. Not a single book was missing. The fake seal was still there too. Only the jade pendant was gone. You'd been with Zuyan constantly lately. Today was the only time you were apart. And you were hit immediately. This meant you were being watched. The thought made your skin crawl. It was terrifying. No one likes being hunted by a viper. The prime suspect was Sister Qing. Zhao Yu playing outside distracted Zhao Zuyan, and she just happened to be gone. It was all too coincidental. The reason she could pull this off was because she'd been watching you. Even though Zuyan is simple-minded, she's incredibly alert to danger. If it were a stranger, she would have noticed something. Only a familiar face would make her lower her guard. And most importantly, they didn't kill you. They could have ended you easily, but they spared your life. This was what confused you most. Why show mercy? You thought for a long time, but couldn't figure it out? Plus, this was all just speculation. There was no evidence. After a moment of silence, you tidied the box and hid it back under the bedboards. Then you poured some water to wash the blood from your head. Finally, you brushed a lock of hair down to cover the wound on your temple. Once it looked normal, you finally opened the door. In the yard, Ziyan and Zhao Yu sat together, playing cat's cradle with some string. Kites were scattered all over the yard. They both looked incredibly happy. Seeing you come out, Zhao Zuyan said cheerfully. Oh, you're awake. Did you go inside the house? You asked, a bit surprised. No, she said. I thought you were sleeping, so I didn't want to disturb you. Aren't I good to you? You're so good to me. You forced a smile. If she had just checked on you once, she'd have seen you'd been attacked. All she does is play. Of course, you only kept these thoughts to yourself. Then Zhao Yu looked at you. Uncle Chun, my mom bought fish today. She's inviting Sister Zuyan for dinner. Is that okay? You were stunned for a second. Then you smiled normally. Am I invited? I don't know. But I can go ask my mom. He ran toward the kitchen on his short legs. Mom, Uncle Chun is awake. He's asking if you're inviting him too. While Zhao Yu ran into the kitchen, you quietly sat down next to Zuyan. My dear, when did Sister Qing get back? Zuyan tilted her head to think. She shook her head. I don't know. She's been back for a while. Did you feel any strangers around? Or notice any danger? Nope. Zuyan grinned.
Aching.
I'll protect you. Then, thinking of something, she jumped up and shouted, I am Buddha. The Jade Emperor, appointed to go west for the scriptures. Her condition was acting up again. You rubbed your brow with a headache. It was clear you wouldn't get anything useful out of her. You'd have to observe for yourself. Uncle Chun. Zhao Yu ran out of the kitchen. He looked at you happily. Uncle Chun, Mom says you can come to dinner tonight. You looked toward the kitchen. You rubbed his head and smiled.
Okay.
I'll be there. Go play with Sister Zuyan. After sending Zhao Yu off, you walked toward the kitchen. You didn't go inside, but stood at the doorway, watching Chen Qingyi work. Sensing she was being watched, Chen Qingyi glanced back. So it was you. She furrowed her brows, but she didn't say anything more. She turned and got back to work. Gotta admit, a woman's body after having kids just looks better. No matter how much you look, you never get tired of it. She's like a ripe peach, full of tempting fragrance. Had enough staring yet? Just as you were staring at her, Chen Qingyi shot you a cold look. You snap back to reality and stay silent. You just smile, but your eyes don't move away. Chen Qingyi's frown deepens, but for some reason, she didn't scold you like usual. She just turned away and kept busy. After a little while, she set a plate of stir-fried pork aside. With a chilly tone, she said, "Take the food out." Okay, you went right over. You picked up the stir-fried pork. The kitchen wasn't big. You couldn't tell if it was on purpose or an accident. But as you turned, you accidentally bumped into Chen Qingyi while she was cooking. What are you doing? Chen Qingyi suddenly turned around. She gave you a nasty look and said, ignoring you doesn't mean. You can push your luck. Sis Ching, I really didn't mean it. You apologized again and again. It's just too cramped here. I really didn't mean to bump into you. Better be that way. Chen Qingyi said nothing after that. You wisely walked out with the pork dish. But right after you left the kitchen, your face changed. That bump earlier. Of course, it wasn't really an accident. But you weren't trying to take advantage. You just wanted to smell something. Trying to knock yourself out with the scent. That female assassin had a faint fragrance. So you wanted to check if Sis Ching had that same scent, to confirm if she was that person. But you felt a bit disappointed. No, even though Sis Ding had a fragrance, it was her natural scent. The female assassin's scent wasn't natural. It was some kind of spice. A very unique kind of spice. One you've never smelled before. As for why you can tell the difference between natural scent and perfume, it's because Su Shaowan used to love using perfume. Over time, you learned to tell them apart. Soon, Chen Qingyi finished making dinner. It was a big meal, chicken, fish, and plenty of other dishes. Altogether, 6 meat and 3 veggie plates. Sis Ching, this is a feast. Looking at the spread, you asked in surprise, "Is today some special day?" Xiao Yu happily ran over to the table and said, "Today is Xiao Yu's birthday." You glanced at Chen Qingyi. She set out bowls and chopsticks. Looking calm as she said, "These years I've looked after Xiao Yu. Just the 2 of us. It's his birthday today, so we'll actually celebrate for once. I was going to invite old Chin and Aunt Lee, but they're not around. So I just called you." She added, "Don't get the wrong idea." Who's getting the wrong idea here? You gave Chen Qingyi a helpless look. She glanced at you and said, "If you don't want to eat, go home." Why wouldn't I eat? You immediately looked away and called Zhao Zuyan to sit down. Why eat out when you can get a free meal? After an afternoon of playing, Zhao Zuyan and Xiao Yu were already friends. As soon as they sat down, they huddled together, chattering non-stop. In fact, Zhao Zuyan even pulled out her comic book to share with him. They sat there, snacking and flipping through the comic book. The atmosphere was lively. But on your side with Chen Qingyi, it was much quieter. You were still thinking about that female assassin. Even Chen Qingyi seems a bit preoccupied. She lowers her head and eats. Can't see her expression. No idea what she's thinking about. Do you drink? Chen Qingyi suddenly asks. Huh? I was lost in thought. You didn't catch what she said at first. I asked if you drink. Never mind, I'll go get it myself. Chen Qingyi gets up right away. She goes inside and brings out a jar of liquor. Opens the wine jar. The smell fills the air. Smells great. The look in your eyes says it all. Chen Qingyi grabs 2 big bowls, fills them to the brim, then looks at Zhao Zuyan, asking if she wants some. Aching? Can I have some? Zhao Zuan looks at you hopeful. If you want to, go for it. Chen Qingyi pours her a bowl without hesitation. No need to ask his opinion. Zhao Zuan keeps looking at you. You smile helplessly and say, go ahead. After you speak up, Zhao Zuan picks up the bowl, excited. She sips carefully, and her eyes instantly light up, then chugs the entire bowl in a few gulps. More. Zhao Zuyan happily holds out her bowl to Chen Qingyi. Chen Qingyi doesn't say much. She fills another bowl for her. The two of them start drinking, going back and forth, one bowl after another. The jar is empty in no time. Chen Qingyi brings out several more jars. This time, forget the bowls. They just drink straight from the jar. You realize what's really going on. She wants to get drunk, fast. She downs several jars, all by herself. Xiao Yu Chen Qingyi, bleary-eyed, stares at her daughter. After a moment, she says, how about you and Sister Zuyang go play outside? Okay. Xiao Yu glances at you, then takes Xiao Zuyang's hand and says, sis, can we go play outside? Xiao Zuyang looks at the drinks in front of her, then at the little windmill in Xiao Yu's hand. She hesitates for a while, but finally decides to go out to play. Once they're gone, Chen Qingyi takes a big swig of liquor. She props her chin on her hand, then gives you a sultry look. Am I pretty? Pretty, you answer honestly, and nod your head. You say, Qingyi, if something's up, just say it. No need for all this. No need for what? Chen Qingyi asks, playing dumb. Just all this. You look at her this, whatever this is. Chen Qingyi leans in close. Her voice goes soft. She says, are you talking about seduction? You sit up straight. Serious, Qingyi. Please behave yourself. Chen Qingyi props her chin with one hand. Her other hand slowly crawls onto yours. Her fingers trace the back of your hand. She says, wanna sleep together? If I said no, that'd be a lie. You say, but I have principles. Principles? Chen Qingyi laughs. Her laugh is playful. You afraid I'll get you in trouble again? You don't hide it. You just nod, admitting it. I like beauty, but I value my life more. I don't want your life. A flash of determination in Chen Qingyi's eyes. She gets up and sits next to you, leans in close to your ear. She says, I want money. Give me 10,000 taels and I'm yours. She finishes by blowing warm air in your ear. Gulp, you swallow hard. Qingyi, you must be joking. I don't have that kind of money. You do. Chen Qingyi fixes her eyes on you. She says, that woman brought you money this morning. 15,000 taels. I heard everything. After a moment of silence, you ask Qingyi, do you really need money that bad? That's none of your business. Chen Qingyi says, just tell me, will you give it to me or not? No. You answer without hesitation. Chen Qingyi's eyes instantly turn cold. You don't think I'm worth 10,000? No, you are. You say, Qingyi, with your looks, you're definitely worth that much. But like I said, I have principles. So you still think I'm not worth it? Chen Qingyi suddenly smiles. But the smile feels a bit sad. You think I want to do this? If I had any other way, you think I'd do this? Forget it. What's the point of complaining to you? Chen Qingyi gives a little smile. She says, if you don't want to, then get out. There are plenty of rich guys in Kangju. She takes the wine jar and drinks straight from it, like she's trying to drink herself into oblivion. Or drink herself to death. Qingyi, you misunderstood me. You grab the wine jar from her. If you need money, I can help you earn it. We can split it after it's done. Earn money? Chen Qingyi sneers. You're not planning to make me sell myself while you play the pimp, right? Hey, come on, Qingyi. Do I look like that kind of guy? You laugh and shake your head. I never do that kind of thing. I've got other ways to make money. If you're up for it, I'll take you along. But it's dangerous. One wrong move and you're dead. While you say this, you keep your eyes on Chen Qingyi. You're asking Chen Qingyi to join you in tomb robbing. Of course, it's not just for a good cause. And it's not for beauty either. Your real reason is to see if Chen Qingyi is really a Jianghu pro. You're still suspicious that Chen Qingyi is the one who tried to kill you. You're trying to find proof. Chen Qingyi meets your eyes for a moment, then looks down. When did you find out? You tense up. Is she about to confess? Qingyi, what are you talking about? I don't get it. You brought up danger on purpose, so you could test who I really am, right? Chen Qingyi says calmly. Yeah, I'm from the Jianghu. But the person who attacked you inside wasn't me. Do you believe her? You're stunned. After a long pause, you finally ask, how did you know someone attacked me? Chen Qingyi points to her temple. You can fool others, but not me. You got hurt right there. When I passed your room, I could smell blood. And Zuyan was outside with my daughter the whole time. So I figured someone attacked you inside. Is that a good enough reason? It's good enough, but you really don't want to stay here. This is too weird. You've been neighbors with her for almost 2 years. And in your memory, Chen Qingyi was the kind to keep her nose clean. Always cold and distant. Never cared about anything. And you never saw her worry about money. She's not rich, but she could always buy what she wanted. And that's not even counting medical bills for Xiaoyu. Now, suddenly, she's offering herself for money. And can say for sure that you got attacked. Thinking about it gives you chills. You take a deep breath. You force yourself to look calm, Qingyi. No need for extra talk. If you truly need cash, just meet me in the courtyard the day after tomorrow at noon. With that, he left without a glance back. After you gone, Chen Qingyi remained seated, staring blankly at the lavish meal, lost in thought. No one knew what he was thinking.
His right hand gripped the wine jug.
With a bang, it burst. Wine spilled everywhere. The jug fragments in his hand crunched under his grip. Blood streamed from his palm. He seemed oblivious, until Xiaoyu came through the door and called, "Mom!" Only then did he snap out of it.
He quickly hid his injured hand.
Smiling, "Xiaoyu, why aren't you playing outside?" "Mom!" Xiaoyu eyed the broken jug on the floor and quickly ran over, taking her hand, seeing the bloody wound. His face pained, he said, "Mom, Xiaoyu doesn't want treatment. Let's go home." "Xiaoyu," Chen Qingyi said gently, her gaze soft. "Mom, it's okay, you'll be okay. Mom's close to finding a cure for you. Don't you worry." "Mom!" Xiaoyu felt a sudden pang of unfairness and immediately hugged Chen Qingyi.
He sobbed, choking. If Dad were still here.
"No one would bully you. He'd kill everyone who bullies you." As he spoke, though Xiaoyu was sobbing, the menace and hatred in his words couldn't be hidden. Chen Qingyi wasn't moved. Instead, she sternly scolded, "Xiaoyu, how many times have I told you? Don't always talk about fighting and killing. If you keep doing that, Mom will get angry." Facing a strict Chen Qingyi, Xiaoyu was timid.
He said, "Mom, I understand."
Though his words were timid, the menace deep in his eyes couldn't be dispelled. It wasn't typical for a 5 or 6-year-old. After getting home and washing up, you meditated, cultivated, and slept. The assassination was too complex. If you couldn't figure it out, you stopped thinking. The truth would emerge eventually. Meanwhile, just keep improving your strength. The next morning, bright and early, you left with Zhao Zuyun to sign a contract with shopkeeper Zheng to finalize the restaurant deal. The whole process took half a day. The afternoon was spent calming everyone, promising chefs, counter managers, and waiters they wouldn't be fired, and giving them raises too. After calming everyone, you treated them all to a meal. Only then did everyone settle. After sorting all this out, it was already evening when you got home. You glanced at Chen Qingyi's room. It was pitch dark. No one was home. Even landlady Li's family wasn't there. And old man Qin had left too. So it was just the two of you in the whole courtyard. And because of this, you got much bolder. That night when Zhao Zuyan pulled you to her room as usual, you tried to fight back. The result was waking up the next day. Your back was still aching. As noon approached, you still didn't see Chen Qingyi. So you packed up your things and headed with Zhao Zuyan to Mang village to meet the Zhao brothers. The agreed time was 3 days. Today was the last day. But just as you stepped out, you saw someone in the alley, wearing green robes, with blue cloth shoes, and a long sword on their back. Because of the assassination 2 days prior, you instinctively hid behind Zhao Zuyan. But you quickly noticed. Zhao Zuyan showed no strange expression. Instead, she stared at the person, puzzled. Only then did you cautiously peek out to listen. You eyed Chen Qingyi in front of you with surprise. If you didn't look closely, you really wouldn't have recognized that. The man in green robes, hair tied up, and a long sword on their back, gave off the vibe of a dashing young master. At first glance, those who didn't know would think it was some young master roaming the Jianghu. You'd bet that, with his outfit, if he walked out, he'd surely charm countless naive, noble young ladies. Sister Ching, why are you dressed like this? Are you going to earn money? Chen Qingyi, in a cool voice, said, this outfit is good for action. Oh, I see. You said, oh, then said, then let's go. You led Chen Qingyi towards Mang village. Along the way, you couldn't help but ask, Sister Ching, you're coming with us. What about Zhao Yu? I left him with a friend, Chen Qingyi replied simply, and said no more. You didn't press further, and stopped there. They walked in silence. Zhao Ziyan, however, was happy all day, occasionally looking here and there, curious about everything. Sometimes she'd walk fast, and even squat in a tree, waiting for you two to get close. Then she'd immediately jump down from the tree and run to wait a little further ahead. For this sort of boring game, she was never bored. The group arrived at Old Village around 2 p.m. In the courtyard where you first stayed, you met Zhang Hunden. Zhang Hunden saw you coming. Zhang Hunden sighed in relief. He forced a smile on his tired face, saying, I thought you wouldn't come. Brother Zhang, you underestimate me. You feign seriousness. You know I'm terrified of poverty. How could I miss a chance to make money? Zhang Hunden chuckled heartily. Then, looking at Chen Qingyi behind you, you said, this is the helper I hired. His share will come from me. Seeing you say that, Zhang Hunden didn't say anything more, just looked at Chen Qingyi and smiled, asking, what's this brother's name? Brother Zhang Hunden, are you blind after a few days? Then a voice came from behind. That figure clearly belongs to a woman. You turned to look. Mei Shi walked over wearing a black-tied outfit. Seeing her outfit, you asked, surprised, Sister Mei, you're coming too? Yeah, Mei Shi said. Old Man Chin isn't here either. I need to keep an eye on you guys, lest you die down there. As she spoke, she reached your side and saw Chen Qingyi's face. She paused for a moment. Then her eyes lit up. What a handsome young man. Young man, what's your name? Chen Yi didn't bother arguing with them about whether she was a man or a woman. Instead, as usual, she said coldly, is this the time to discuss this? Of course not. Zhang Hunden, an awkward look on his face, said, let's go inside first. Talk inside. Chen Qingyi, her face cold, bypassed them and went straight inside. The snake's gaze stayed fixed on Chen Qingyi. Seeing him enter the room, she caught up and asked, Master Cheng, are you married? Snake. Zhang the jerk grabbed her. Have some decency. And didn't you just say he was a woman? Did I misjudge him? The snake said impatiently, no woman has such a chilling aura. She brushed off Zhang and chased after him. Zhang was left standing there dazed. You leaned in with a smirk. Brother Zhang, is there something between you and Sister Snake? Like hell there is. Zhang sneered. Nothing's going on. Then why do you look so lost? Do I? No, I don't. Do I? No, I don't. Must be from overworking lately. Let's go inside. Zhang was in the mood to bicker with you. But thinking of his brother, Zhang Da, he entered the house dejectedly. You followed with Xiao Zhujian. The interior was the same, very simple and bare. However, there was a map on the table. Chen Qingyi stood in a corner. The snake clung to him like glue, saying things that seemed witty. Zhang San is missing. You looked around and didn't see Zhang Xiaodan.
He's not here, Zhang said, glancing at the snake.
He looked upset. He's still digging down there. He motioned everyone to the table, pointing at the map and saying, we haven't been idle these past few days. Regarding the grotto below, we've scouted the whole thing. As he spoke, he looked at you. Remember that underground river? How could you ever forget it? Just one slip, and you nearly died there. Remember there's another level below the river. Zhang continued. Following that river downstream, there's a passage not far away, but the passage is tiny. I had someone widen it to crawl in, but he never came back up. Then we sent down some livestock, and when we pulled them up, they were stone dead. So it's dangerous down there. We can't go that way. Our only choice is to dig another way. Xiaodan is working on it now. The danger below the river was something you knew all too well. Even if Zhang hadn't said it, you wouldn't go near that river again. After a pause, you asked, how long until it's through? It's already through. Now we're just reinforcing it. It'll be ready by tonight. We can go down and wait later. Now let's talk about the split. For this trip, my brother and I are mainly looking for someone. So we don't want to share. You and Snake go 50-50. At this point, he glanced at Chen Qingyi again and said with annoyance, as for your internal split, discuss it among yourselves. I'll wait outside. Ready up, then we move. Jiang finished and walked out. He signaled to the snake before leaving. She then reluctantly left Cheng's side and walked out. Sister Ying, why don't you explain? You asked curiously. What is there to explain? Cheng said flatly. One want 20%. No problem, you said. But you must prove your worth. You can't just take a stroll with us and walk away with 20% profit. Cheng just looked at you, said nothing, and turned to leave. His meaning was simple. Talk is cheap. He would prove it through action. You just smiled and followed him out. As the group entered the chamber again, you felt a sense of unreality. Entering the tomb twice, your mindset was totally different. The first time was filled with dread. This time, it was different. This business is like gambling on jade. Before it's opened, you never know what addictive treasures lie within. Descending back to the grotto through the hole, the cave was brightly lit. When you got down, Zhang Xiaodong was sitting on a rock, dazed. Seeing you descend, he immediately stood up. I thought you guys weren't coming. Coward, when have I ever broken a promise? The snake looked at him with disdain. Is the hole finished?
Done.
Xiaodong grabbed a pack and put it on. Just waiting for you all. Let's go. He didn't want to wait a second longer. His brother had been missing for so long, though he was prepared for the worst. What if he was still alive? Xiaodong led the group to the ironclad stone door. He pointed to a hole in front of it. Right here. You dug the hole at the door? You asked in surprise. Digging at the door? Xiaodong said, digging from the sides. We couldn't be sure of the direction, but digging from the door. As long as we go straight, we'll definitely get behind it. Snake leaned down to look at the hole, then looked up at Xiaodong.
Coward.
No, I shouldn't call you that. I should call you bold. You are truly reckless. These wooden doors usually have traps. They dig a pit at the entrance, lining the bottom with specially treated phosphorus powder. Then they fill it with oil. If someone tunnels from below, the phosphorus ignites the oil. The oil coats the person, and they're burned alive in the tunnel. I don't know if you're brainless or just lucky. There was no oil paper here. We considered all that already, Jiang said. But we found blood stains here earlier. The blood disappeared right here. In other words, someone entered using a method we don't know. If someone got in, there won't be any lethal traps. So we took the risk. Snake gave a thumbs up after hearing this. She said sarcastically, impressive, brothers. Fine, the hole's dug. What's the use of talking? Xiaodong said impatiently. Let's just go in. He tossed the pack in first, then crawled in himself. The others had no choice but to follow. When you crawled out the other side, you had to admire old Chin's judgment. There was only space for two behind the door. Then it dropped vertically. If they had tunneled through the side walls, even a slight deviation would have missed it. Come on, up you go. Xiaodong pulled you up from the hole. Just follow the tunnel down, so people behind won't get stuck. You turn and pull Zhao Zuyan up. Then you slide down too. The tunnel going down isn't tall. It's about 3 meters high. After coming down, there's a narrow passage. Zhang Xiaodong is lighting a torch. They prepared these torches ahead of time. When everyone comes down, you ask how long the passage is. It's not long, like 5 or 6 meters. Zhang Xiaodong hands you a torch. I've already explored this part. It's safe now. Everyone's down? All right, let's go. Zhang Xiaodong rushes forward eagerly. You are about to follow. Chen Qingyi moves past you and walks second. You pause for a second, but say nothing, and go along. Zhao Zian follows right behind you. At the very end are Mish and Zhang Hunden. You don't worry about being reserved. Zhang Hunden grabs Mish and complains. You're a woman. Why are you chasing after him? What will people think? Mind your own business. I like it. Because he's good looking. Listening to their conversation behind. You roll your eyes internally. Bunch of blind folks. Can't tell a decent woman when you see one. After moving past the narrow passage, there's a huge cave. An underground stream flows beside the passage and pours into the cave. You hear rushing water. Zhang Xiaodan, holding the torch at the front, says, "This is as far as I got. Never been up ahead. The cave is complicated. Everyone, be careful." Zhang Xiaodan, you're so timid. We've got so many people. Nothing to be scared of. Mish wants to show off for Chen Qingyi and moves forward with the torch. Slow down. Zhang Hunden is instantly worried, scared something might happen.
He rushes after him.
The rest of the group quickly follows along. Cave is full of stalactites. The ground's really slippery. Everyone walks carefully, always watching their steps. But after a short walk, Chen Qingyi, right in front of you, suddenly stops. You nearly bump into him. Why'd you stop? Lift your heads and look around. Chen Qingyi says coldly. Can you guys even tell where you are? Do you know which way we came from? Looking up, it's pitch black all around. Can't see your own hand. The darkness feels like it'll swallow everyone up. A heavy sense of pressure rushes at you. Right now, you can't tell where you are at all. You look at Zhang Xiaodan. Zhang Xiaodan is panicking too. Don't look at me. I just followed the big guy. How would I know where we are? Cold sweat breaks out on Zhang Hunden's forehead. I'm scared Mish might be in trouble. So I just followed him. I just kept walking forward. Mish says, kind of unsure. Should we go back? Yi doesn't say a word, just turns and heads back. Before the torch burns out in this darkness. If we don't get out, who knows if we'll ever make it. Half an hour later, Yi's pissed off. They're lost. I remember when we left the passage, we walked for less than the time it takes to burn a stick of incense. Zhang Xiaodan nervously looks at his big brother. Should we go back? Why haven't we reached it after walking this long? Listen. Right then, Chen Qingyi makes a shushing sound. You listen quietly for a while. What did you hear? The sound of water? Chen Qingyi stayed calm. You're all too panicked when something happens. The water has always been there. It's just the darkness making you ignore the sound. Just follow the water. Find the underground stream. Go along with the current. We can find our way back. Or maybe get out. Come with me. After saying that, Chen Qingyi led the way with her torch. You hurried after her. Everyone else followed behind. Soon, you spotted an underground stream flowing across the ground. Chen Qingyi turned around, looked at everyone, and asked, follow the current, or go against it. It's your choice. Let's go against the current. Zhang Xiaodan said, we just came out of the corridor. The stream next to us is flowing downward. Water doesn't flow uphill. What he said makes sense. The cave is bumpy and uneven, but overall it slopes downward. Usually, the stream won't flow back. We don't mind. After deciding, the group walked back along the underground stream. Chen Qingyi still led the way. You stayed right behind her. But as you walked, something felt wrong, like something was missing. You turned around. Suddenly, you were scared out of your wits. Zhao Zhuan and the Zhang brothers who had been behind you, they were gone. King Ji, you grabbed Chen Qingyi's hand. What's wrong? Chen Qingyi turned puzzled, and then she froze too. Where are they? I have no idea. I've been following you all along. Turned around and they're all gone. If only the Zhang brothers disappeared. Maybe they were up to something. But Zhao Zuyan is gone too, and that's downright creepy. Chen Qingyi knew Zhao Zuyan's strength well. Don't be fooled. This girl looks silly. But if she fights, I'm not sure I could beat her. Come on, let's head back and look. Chen Qingyi turned around and walked back. You quickly followed her and clung tightly to Chen Qingyi's arm. If you fall behind and lose track, you'd really vanish, and then it'd be all over. Chen Qingyi frowned, looked at you and said, can't you be a little braver? No way, I'm a coward. Yeah, I'm a coward. Whenever there's danger, I'm hiding behind you. Don't even think about ditching me. Being a coward doesn't matter compared to my life. Which one matters more? No need to think about it. Chen Qingyi didn't say anything else in the end. She let you hold on to her arm. After the two of you walked for a bit, you stopped again. Something's off. Really off. They were going against the stream, but hadn't gone far. Yet the two of you have been walking a while, and there's no sign of the missing folks. Chen Qingyi stopped. Why aren't we moving? We're stopping, Chen Yi said seriously. I think we've entered some kind of maze. Blindly searching won't find them. And even we could get lost here. Let's go back. Don't hold the torch up. Put the torch over the stream. And watch the stream closely as you walk. No way, I never thought of that. If I focus on the stream, and you disappear again, how do I survive? Chen Qingyi took a deep breath and said helplessly, I'll hold your hand while we walk. Sound good? Really? Don't let go. You gave Chen Qingyi a suspicious look. Why do you talk so much? Chen Qingyi grabbed your hand, annoyed. Qingji, your hand is so soft. Chen Qingyi replied coldly. Say one more word and you're dead. You immediately shut up, one hand holding Chen Qingyi, the other holding the torch, reaching it above the stream. The two walked, one in front, one behind. It didn't take long. You stopped. Your face looked grim. Qingji, there's definitely a problem. Under the torchlight, several streams converged together. Alongside each stream, there was a black stone path. These paths started out parallel, but soon spread out. If you're not careful, you'll end up on the wrong path. And the farther you go, the more you stray. Qingji, which one should we take? You asked seriously. Chen Qingyi hesitated for a second. Boys left, girls right. Let's do neither. Go straight down the middle. The two followed the middle path for a while. At the junction, more hidden paths appeared. It looks simple here, but it's actually tricky. You gave Chen Qingyi a look. Every time you two took the middle route, after about the time it takes incense to burn, suddenly you saw little green lights ahead. The lights were faint, but in this dark cave they were so bright. Qingji, something's up ahead. You stopped and said, No need to say it. I see it. Chen Qingyi replied calmly. Is it human or ghost? We'll know once we check it out. With that, Chen Qingyi walked toward the lights first. Afraid to lose her, you stuck close behind, never leaving her side. When you finally got closer, you realized the lights came from a corridor. This corridor was just like the one you left earlier. But here, there were many little green lights, floating in the air, moving up and down, like pairs of eyes staring at you. It gave you chills.
Hey, Qingji.
Maybe we shouldn't go in. Seeing the scene inside, you felt like backing out. If we don't go in, where are you going? Chen Qingyi replied coolly. You planning to go back? You glanced at the pitch-black cave behind you. It was totally dark, nothing visible. After a moment of silence, you said, These green lights are probably just spirit flames. What's scary about that? After speaking, you headed into the corridor. But after a few steps, you stopped again, looked at Chen Qingyi standing at the entrance and said, Qingji, aren't you coming? Didn't you say you weren't scared? Chen Qingyi looked at you with a half smile. Of course I'm not scared. You cleared your throat and said confidently, I'm just worried, Qingji, you'd get scared. If you stand here and something happens, how am I supposed to survive? Wow, thanks for that, Chen Qingyi snorted and stepped up. You're pretty thick-skinned. You chuckled and grabbed Chen Qingyi's hand again. Chen Qingyi shot you a glance. You quickly explained, I'm just scared. Hey, Chen Qingyi let out a cold chuckle. But you still didn't shake me off. Crunch, you entered the passage. Soon, you suddenly felt like you stepped on something. You looked down. It was a human bone. You got a huge scare. Qingyi, be careful. Someone warned, but Chen Qingyi ignored it. She just walked forward silently. But the further you walked, the deeper her frown became, because it was getting more crowded. There were more human bones on the ground. First, just a few, then dozens. Finally, piles everywhere. Green lights glowed, floating out from the corpses as spirit flames. You could call them ghost fire. Whenever people passed by the spirit flames, the wind would blow them away. So when you walked by, these spirit flames moved aside. Once you passed, the ghost fire gathered together again. It really looked like spirits lined up there, making way when the living approached, and stepping aside for you. But after you went by, they returned to their spots, even though you knew it was just a natural thing. A chill still ran through you. It was so creepy, the cold climbed up your spine. Qingyi, are you scared? What's there to be afraid of? Chen Qingyi said coldly. Then why are your hands so sweaty? You said you look pretty nervous to me. Shut up. Chen Qingyi snapped in embarrassment. One more word out of you, and you're going alone. You shut up right away. They walked on for a bit. Suddenly, the passage opened up ahead. The roaring sound of water was deafening. That's the end of the tunnel. And the second you stepped out, your eyes went wide. It's still a massive cave down here, but this space is glowing green with tons of ghost fire floating around. It lights up everything. And on the ground, piles and piles of bones are stacked everywhere. A mountain of corpses, bones stacked like a hill. Deep pits in the cave are filled with bones. A waterfall crashes down from above, cutting a river straight through the bones, flowing even deeper into the cave. Gulp! Looking at you. You couldn't help but swallow hard. King Yi, are we in the underworld now? Or somewhere else? How would I know? Chang Qingyi's voice trembled a little. King Yi, are you scared? Will you die if you stop talking? Chang Qingyi glared at you coldly. Probably not. You chuckled. Let's keep moving. This mountain of bones looks creepy. But after seeing a bunch of horror movies in your last life, you're not that scared anymore. You grabbed Chang Qingyi and walked forward. But after a few steps, you noticed she wasn't budging. You turned and looked at her with confusion. She looked a bit uncertain. I think it's dangerous in here. Let's just go back the way we came. Is she scared now? You gave a weird look. Didn't you say you weren't scared just now? I'm not scared, Chang Qingyi insisted. I just think it's dangerous in here. We should try to find another way out. You didn't even want to call her out on that excuse. You really think we'll find another exit if we go back? Who knows if we will. Let's just go back. Chang Qingyi suddenly lost it a bit. After saying that, she realized she sounded weird. Her tone softened for once. Chang Qing, can we just go back? You looked at her, then at all the corpses on the ground. Fine, let's turn back. Just as you started to turn around, something caught your eye. A hemp rope hanging from above. A body dangled at the end. Not even a skeleton yet. It looks pretty fresh. Against all those white bones, that hanging body really stands out. It's just hidden by the waterfall, so you didn't notice it right away. When you spotted it, your scalp tingled. Qingyi, wait. Look over there. You pointed at the corpse. Your voice anxious. Qingyi, remember what that jerk Zhang said? They dug a tunnel down here. All of them died. The rope hangs down from above, and someone's tied up there. This is probably where they came down. We can probably climb back up from here. Chang Qingyi glanced at the rope, looking a bit uncertain. Let's just head back the way we came. You looked at her, playing the tough guy. If you're scared, let's go the way we came. It's just a longer walk, and maybe a few more turns. The torch is almost out anyway. Who knows if we can get out? You held up the torch, with a sarcastic tone, ready to turn back. But you started counting her steps in your mind. Sure enough, Chang Qingyi looked mad and flustered. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. Stop right there. She glared right at you, gritting her teeth. Have I ever said I'm scared? As soon as she finished, she took a deep breath and walked steadily toward the rope. You rushed to catch up, but you kept teasing anyway. Acting scared, you said, Qingyi. What if a skull hand suddenly reaches out from all these bones and pulls us down? Chang Qingyi suddenly froze. Her face went pale. Shut up. If you say one more word, I'll cut your tongue out. You quickly covered your mouth, pretending to look terrified, but slowed down your steps. Chang Qingyi was just about to reach that body, but you had fallen a step behind. The chance is here. You grinned mischievously, bent down and grabbed at Chang Qingyi's ankle. Ah, the second your fingers touched her ankle, she let out a scared scream. But before you could enjoy your prank, karma hit back hard. Chang Qingyi acted on instinct and kicked you square in the face. It was a heavy kick, like getting nailed by a hammer. You felt yourself flying sideways, knocking over a pile of bones and rolling helplessly down the bone pile. You lay there, blacked out, not moving at all. Only then did Chang Qingyi realize what happened. She was shocked and rushed over to you. But suddenly something changed. She just reached your side when the ground gave way, and she fell. Crash. A mass of white bones suddenly collapsed under you. Originally, this was just a pile of bones floating above the hollow. The collapse sparked a chain reaction. All the bones in the cave surged like a landslide. I held on to you as we were swept into the abyss. Soon the cave was quiet and lifeless again. Only a glowing green light was still floating unsteadily in the air. No one knows how much time passed. You woke up with a jolt of pain. A hand forced its way out of the bone pile. You pushed aside the bones on your head and sat up in a mess. You gasped greedily for fresh air. That kick just now knocked you out. By the time you woke up, this was what you found. You looked around. You didn't see any sign of Chen Qingyi. You looked up. Above you was a huge hole in the ceiling, at least 2 or 3 meters off the ground. There's no way you can climb up by yourself. With some faint light around, you managed to find your unlit torch. You lit it again. The walls around you were smooth, almost like glass. It was clear they'd been worked on by people. You felt a little panicked. Qingji? Qingji? Where are you? You shouted at the top of your lungs. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have joked around. Don't laugh at me. Come out. I already saw you. All you got back was an empty echo. Great, now the joke's gone way too far. You rubbed your brows in regret. Secretly, you scolded yourself for being too immature. You got cocky way too fast. You swore to remember this next time. Too late for regrets. You took a deep breath, raised your torch, and started looking for a way out. You hadn't gone far when a passageway appeared ahead. The ground was covered in dust, but there was a clear set of footprints on it, which made you both happy and worried. You were glad because they were cloth shoe prints, definitely left by Chen Qingyi. But next to them were claw marks, like a wild animal. There were also obvious signs of a fight on the wall, and little splatters of dark red. Apparently, while you were out, Chen Qingyi ran into trouble. You didn't dare waste time. You gritted your teeth and rushed into the tunnel. After walking a little, some random crates blocked the way. You opened one without thinking, and the golden shine inside blinded you. It was filled with beautiful gold pieces. Normally, you'd be thrilled, but now surviving came first. You fought off your greed, picked just a set of delicate zodiac figures, plus a few perfect jade stones for your pocket. You forced yourself to leave the rest behind. Getting through the tunnel, another pitch-black cavern appeared up ahead. Qingji, are you there? You called out to test the waters. I'm here. To your surprise, Chen Qingyi actually replied from the darkness. You were overjoyed. You quickly asked Qingji, where are you? Here, come over. The voice came from right ahead. You held your torch and made marks on the ground as you walked, just in case you got lost. You asked Qingji, what happened just now? Why did you end up here? Something was chasing me, so I ran this way. Chen Qingyi's voice sounded weird and floaty, but you were busy making marks and didn't notice. Where are you? You looked around, torch held high. How come I don't see you? Here, right here. The voice got closer and closer, as if it was right in your ear, but you still didn't see. Before you could finish, a hand suddenly clamped down over your mouth from behind. Then an arm locked tight around your neck. Your whole body froze. You were about to struggle when a familiar voice spoke right next to your ear. Don't move. It's me, Chen Qingyi's voice. Your eyes went wide. Still shaken, you were dragged behind a rock wall to hide. Qingji, you whispered, unable to believe it. Weren't you in front just now? Chen Qingyi gave you a warning gesture. Then she shouted into the dark. Changqing, are you there? What happened next made your skin crawl. Your own voice answered from deep in the dark. Here, Qingji. Where are you? You instantly got goosebumps. Your eyes were full of fear. What the hell is that thing? Chen Qingyi ignored that voice, just kept her eyes on the ceiling, on guard. Right then, a sudden wind swept down from above. Chen Qingyi was ready, pushed you out of the way, and her sword flashed forward like lightning. A shriek rang out. A dark shadow flickered in the torchlight and darted away. What the heck was that thing? You were still shaking, but Chen Qingyi just said, chase after it if you see it. No way you'd stay alone in a creepy place like this. You shouted and chased after her. Qingji, wait for me. Hurry up, I'll wait. But weirdly, as soon as you opened your mouth, that cold voice replied again, with a chill that cut to the bone. You shivered all over from fear. You shouted back, why are you talking like that? And the thing answered every time, still keeping that slow, creepy tone. Wu Qingji, wait up for me. This is freaking scary. You chased Cheng Qingyi, sounding like you might cry. But the voice stuck with you like a shadow. Hey, how am I scary? Shut up, Cheng Qingyi snapped. If you stop talking, that thing won't either. Is that thing supposed to mean me? The voice copied your tone again. You felt your scalp tingle. You and Cheng Qingyi shared a look. Both dead serious now. She whispered, let's get out now. I wounded that thing. Follow the blood trail and we can get out. You didn't dare say another word, torch in hand. You followed the marks on the ground, running as fast as you could. But at the end of the path, there was no exit, just a sheer cliff. Standing at the edge, you looked down, and were totally stunned. At the base of the cliff was a massive underground city. Lights glowed everywhere, but every light was cold and mournful. The whole city looked like a ghost world.
It was clearly a star city.
Gee, tell me, where are we really? You were so shocked you could barely talk. You ask me? Cheng Qingyi shot you a look. Didn't you bring me down here? Now you're asking me what this place is. You gave a sheepish smile and forced yourself to calm down. All you could do now was press on. See if we can find my silly wife. Once we find her, we'll figure out a plan to get back above ground. The two of you fumbled along the edge of the cliff. Finally, you found a hidden steep stone staircase. It led straight down to the ghost town below. There was no other way. You had to go down. Cheng Qingyi moved swiftly. She started down the stone steps. You saw the narrow stairs just wide enough for 1 foot. And below was a sheer drop. You couldn't help but feel your legs go weak. But when you thought of that monster mimicking human speech behind you, you gritted your teeth, pressed close to the rock wall, and followed. As you kept walking, Cheng Qingyi suddenly stopped up ahead. Just as you were about to relax, you realized something was off. Someone was blocking the stairs ahead. That person was short, with a hunched back, dressed in oversized scholar's robes, their entire body wrapped up tightly. Only their left arm was bleeding, dark red seeping through. It was the guy who ambushed you just now. A face-to-face encounter on a narrow path. The staircase was too narrow. If you fought, one wrong move meant falling to your death. The air seemed to freeze. You clung hard to a vine nearby. You didn't even dare to breathe. After a tense standoff, the short figure slowly backed away. After a few meters, he nimbly moved across the steep rock wall a few times, then vanished in an instant. Only once you were sure he was gone did you finally breathe out. Qing, who was that? Not human, Cheng Qingyi said calmly, but picked up her pace. That was a Shengshao. A Shengshao? You were shocked. You mean that thing was a monkey? Right. Could a person move like that on a cliff? She kept analyzing as she walked. I have a hunch who's behind this. It must be the Sun family, the monkey trainers. You remembered the quick sword that died at Zhao Zuyan's hands. A sudden realization hit you. You both finally reached the ground. That short figure had long disappeared. Qingyi's eyes coldly looked toward the ghost town gate. Since that monkey led us here, let's go inside and meet whoever's behind this. You gripped the soft sword at your waist and followed closely behind. Inside the ghost town, it was deathly silent. Only green flames flickered. Qing, you couldn't help but break the silence.
Tell me.
Was the one mimicking our voices the monkey? Monkeys can't talk. Then that thing copying our speech. Could it have followed us too? You could try. You were bold. You thought for a second, then shouted, Honey, where are you? Suddenly echoes sounded all around. Aching, where are you? This place is so much fun. Hurry and come here. Your face turned pale. That thing really was still here.
Even Cheng Qingyi was startled.
She looked around cautiously, still not convinced. You shouted, Honey.
Again.
Where are you? Aching, are you looking for me? This time, the ghostly voice came from right behind you. Goosebumps shot up all over your body. Your neck stiffly turned, rusted like an old gear. A wild-haired, ghastly pale face with a greenish tint was staring right at you. Thump! Your heart skips a beat. Fear hits you right after. Ghost, you scream in terror. You spin around and cling tightly to Cheng Qingyi beside you. You grab him like an octopus, almost burrowing into his arms. Qingyi, there's a ghost. Cheng Qingyi pushes you away with a dark face, but you just won't let go. Right at that moment, The female ghost suddenly starts laughing. Aching, I really scared you, didn't I? Why does that voice sound so familiar? Chen Qingyi's cold voice rings in your ear. Let go of me. Open your eyes and see who it is. You cautiously turn your head. With the ghostly light, you take a look. That pale face is actually Zhao Zuyan. He just looks a little messy right now. Hair all over the place. The green light makes it worse. Yeah, he really does look like a ghost. You stare at him, stunned. Why is it you? Let go of me. Chen Qingyi warns you again. You realize you're still clinging onto him. You awkwardly let go right away. Then you grab Zhao Zuyan to check him all over. Once you're sure he's alive, you finally relax. What are you doing here? Zhang brothers. I don't know. Zhao Zuyan looks all innocent. Someone tapped my shoulder. I turned and you guys were gone. So I searched and ended up here. Someone tapped your shoulder? You frown. Did you see who it was? No, but I got something cool to show you. Zhao Ziyan shows off and pulls out a copper bottle carved with patterns from his belt. What's this? A bottle. Are you dumb or what? You can't even tell? You're speechless. After a pause, you ask, this is your cool thing. Yeah, Zhao Ziyan holds the bottle up to you. Talk to it. You're not sure but try anyway. You whisper hello. Anybody there? The next second, a clear voice comes from inside the bottle. Who? Why are you calling me? Damn, you almost jump out of your skin. What the heck is this thing? Zhao Zuyan just giggles at your scared look. He laughs. It's a bug. It took me forever to catch it. It can mimic people talking, and it can do all kinds of voices. So all those creepy voices before were actually this bug in the bottle. You finally calm down a bit. Where did you catch it? Just over there. There were a bunch of bugs like this, all buzzing and chattering together. So annoying. Zhao Zuan points to the center of Ghost Town. You tell him to lead the way. You walk down the main road to the city center. There stands a giant stone stele, 2 stories tall. The stele looks ancient and solid, but the surface is blank. Not a single word on it. Aching and the others are inside the stele. Don't say a word. Zhao Zuyan whispers to warn you. But suddenly, it gets super noisy again. You frown and look the stele over. Is this just a regular stele? As soon as you finish, noise erupts from inside. Regular? We're not regular at all. Kid, you just can't see gold even if it's right there. Do you know how many people want me? Back in the day, inside the stele. So many voices, men and women, old and young, come from inside. All yelling and chattering non-stop. Zhao Zuyan covers his ears and gives you a sad look. Your head is ringing too. You take a deep breath and yell, stop. All of you quiet. One person answer me. Too many. It's overwhelming. As soon as you shout, the stele actually goes quiet. After a long moment, a voice comes from inside. What do you want to ask? What the heck are you guys? We are just who we are. We're not ghosts. So what is this stele then? The nameless divine stele.